What up, people? What's good? Salute.
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Salute to the tribe. We're hip hop and comics and hip hop. We're a niche channel. Reserved for the best. It's super dope. I do sell comics. Check me out on Instagram at 6th_element_comics. Yeah, because comic books are the sixth element of hip hop. What's good, y'all? Sixth element of hip hop here. I am your host right here, Reno Noir. This is my co-host over here, Stu Dog. What's good? We got Sada in the building. Busting off. Hey, hold on. Somebody said in the chat real quick. He said, will Sada be blessing us with her presence? Yes, Sada's here. We got Bloodshed in the building. But last but definitely not least, I want to introduce somebody new to the John, and that's my man Dre right here, the Brute. You know what I'm saying? He's a dope indie creator, man. What's good with you, bro?
Oh, I'm good. I'm feeling blessed. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for making some time for me to come up on this, John. I've been looking forward to it.
Absolutely, bro. Definitely. We've been looking forward to having you, man. And we're gonna talk about your projects and your latest comics and that, and then we're gonna get into the current state of the MCU, man. What's going on? You know, what's the problem, y'all? Why are we failing? You know, we gonna get into that. You know, obviously it's a lot to go into. We're gonna get deep into the matrix with it. But yeah, first I want to definitely talk about your project, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Let me show them. Hold up, that's your link tree. Tell us the name of the comic. Tell us the name of the characters. Tell us all about it, man. Trouble, the rhythm within hip hop and comics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, pretty much. Completely on brand for once. I'm finally on a podcast that's completely on brand. So this is Trouble, the Rhythm Within. This is an action adventure musical that I've put together. I released the singles starting about 4 years ago, and now I'm releasing the trade paperback, all 8 issues together in one. Ever since I was a kid growing up, I grew up in Washington, D.C., a melting pot of all types of music and genres and cultures, and just one big old huge melting pot. And it's one thing that I've always asked myself. I said, what would happen if music gave me superpowers? So this entire comic art, I had to study not only like the emotional, the psychological, the physical, and also the stereotypical views and aspects of music, and try to bring them all together into an action adventure. It was a whole lot of fun to do this. I come from a musical background. I used to play rhythm guitar, and I used to sing background for cover bands. My family are like jazz musicians and other types of singers. Like I come from music everywhere. So this was it was destined to happen. Like when I was born into two things: music and comic books. This is the things I was born into. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I said it 1,000 times. I say it 1,000 more. I was born with a Batman comic in my hand, you know, and it came right out the womb. And I've always been elbow deep into the comic book medium, and I have been super excited to actually bring this project. This project takes place in Washington, D.C., easy money, layup. And it goes like this. I took a lot of inspiration from Uncanny X-Men, from Static, from Scott Pilgrim. I took a lot of inspiration from a lot of different comic books that I love and kind of meshed it really well. And it's also a homage to 80s, 90s comics, 90s to 2000s cartoons. It's a big, nice hodgepodge of everything that makes me me, pretty much. I focus on a pretty tight-knit rogues gallery that keeps testing our hero to grow and to, as he gains different abilities and listens to different genres of music. He keeps gaining these different abilities, and he has to learn how to use them, learn how to master them, so he can overcome a whole lot of challenges. It's a whole mess load of fun. And through this Indiegogo, I have a bunch of perks that will cover everything for everybody. So I
Mm,
have digital perks if people just like the digital, the prints, the sign prints, and then we get to the meat and potatoes, the music pack. Yes,
mm.
yes, indeed. There is a soundtrack to this comic book. Yes,
Nice. Nice.
indeed. Um, so for those that are interested in that aspect, I have a digital version and of course the print version, which all the prints come with a bookmark, custom bookmark, and it's pretty dope. And of course, the ultimate Trouble fan pack. You get it all. You get the music track. You get the digital. You get the physical. You get the bookmark, you get the music pack, and you'll get to come onto my YouTube channel and actually share with me what you think and feel about what went down. Maybe something that you really liked. Maybe it's something that you like to see more of, or maybe a character you want me to expound on in future series. I'm all about the fans. I'm all about the people that give to the independent community, and I want to also spread voices in that regard because, as far as I'm concerned, indie comics are the only real comics left anymore. That's my
Mm,
opinion, the way I feel. The big two, and if you want to throw Dark Horse in there, three, they have failed. It's plain and simple. It's game over. Um, Independence is the only place you're getting real stories to being told. It's the only place you're getting passion. It's the only place you're getting real love that actually cares about real material and sources. And I believe that it's time for that to rise to the top, like it was done in the '60s. The pulp comics used to run the world from like about 1930s to 1960s, and then there's a little company called Marvel end up swooping in and taking it all over when the pulp stopped.
mm.
Marvel
Right.
and DC, Marvel and DC are now dead, and now it's time for someone else to take those reins. And I believe that the independent sphere is this now our opportunity to come and rise up and show the reading public something glorious and something beautiful. And so I'm making my business to be a part of that type of community, to elevate voices, to elevate that aspect of the community. I am super excited to bring this to everybody. And the Indiegogo, for those that are wondering, what's the money for? What do we need it for? Simple. Prints. That's it. Prints. No more, no less. These books are done in the can. Only thing that's left is to print them, and then
Mm,
it's going right to your homes, plain
mm.
and simple. We ain't gotta wait 5, 6 months, a year, all that other stuff.
Right.
Nope, no. It's ready, baby. It's ready. Only thing that's left is to print, and that's it. So I'm really excited about this. And for those that are worried about shipping costs, that's not an issue because I'm not even going to charge my people for the shipping. I'll do it out of my own pocket to
Oh
make
wow.
sure that everybody gets it. One thing I believe in is getting my work in everybody's hands. Shipping costs $1 bazillion, and I'm willing to fit the bill because I want everybody to experience my work. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, Reno. Pretty much it. I know
Man,
that was a
yeah.
mouthful.
Yeah, but hey, it's refreshing, man, to have somebody come in here and really know what they're talking about, know their stuff, and really push and promote their thing, man. I love it, man. Like you said, you are really on brand. Like this is hip hop and comics. I mean, this is everything that we talk about, and I can't say I disagree with you on the indies. The Listen, I read Marvel and DC comics, man, to this day, and I promise you, there's no like satisfaction. Like when I read
Exactly.
the book, it feels so empty, man. They just feel so fake and hollow, man. And you're right, it's what it is, man. There's no storytelling, and it's dripping right over into the MCU and
Oh
Marvel
yeah,
period. But we're gonna get into that in a second. But I want to ask you some questions. You mentioned,
absolutely.
you mentioned Scott Pilgrim. What is your influence? How did Scott Pilgrim influence you in this?
Excellent question. So I got the original before the graphic novel had come out. I was actually getting the floppies of Scott Pilgrim about, I guess, what, almost 20 years ago now. I think it's about 20
Hmm.
years ago now. The original floppies when I was getting them, and I was inspired about the surrealness of the fictional world. Because Scott Pilgrim is supposed
Right.
to be in reality, but there's so many fantastical elements that happen randomly
Like video
in
game
that
stuff.
world. Yeah, like
Yeah,
out of nowhere,
right.
like when they fight each other, it becomes Street Fighter. or when they actually
They
thinking
die, they
about
turn into
ideas.
coins and shit. Yeah.
Exactly. Like those fantastical elements, I really took a lot of influence, not it one for one per se, but the
Right.
idea of having like a real world that's grounded in reality with real roads, real streets, real human
Right.
people, but there are certain elements that just bring it to life. Like certain characters, like when you actually think there's a light bulb that pops up. There's
Right.
when a certain enemy once the fight ends, there's like a big KO that shows up in the middle of like a
Mm,
street or something.
right.
Like those so fantastical elements mixed into the real world. So I took a great deal of inspiration from that, because I really thought that comic, that run anyway, heck, even the Knives run was actually pretty good too. But
Yeah.
that entire Scott Pilgrim run was very, very creative and really, really cool. So I was like, hey, there's some elements there that I really wanted to implement.
Definitely, man. That's dope. Um, you mentioned 80s cartoons.
Yes.
What are your
Yes.
favorite joints? Because we talk about G.I. Joe
Okay.
all the time.
Oh man, GI Joe. I look okay. So I love GI Joe, but I loved He Man especially,
Okay.
because I grew up a big villains guy. I loved
Right.
villains,
Right.
and
Yeah.
so so it was He Man and Transformers. Those were like those are the ones I live and die by, and because they had, in my personal opinion, the best villain archetypes of all time. Who the heck doesn't love Skeletor? Who the heck doesn't love Megatron? Like these characters are like the evil archetypes that
Right.
all things are all drip down from, and I love that. I love how over the top the characterizations are, because it's so abstract. Like all of it is so abstract, and all the performances are hammed up to a billion.
Right.
What's there not to love? Like sometimes I put Mumra in there sometimes for Thundercats, but
Yeah.
like here and there. Like Mumra had moments,
Right.
but pretty much like Megatron and Skeletor. Oh, mwah, chef's kiss. It was great.
Yeah, Mumra was
Absolutely
evil.
tremendous.
Mumra was just pure evil.
Yeah.
That was my
You know, you
boy.
talking about Mumra.
Yeah.
Who starts off a sentence talking about ancient spirits of evil? Who transformed this
True. Big
decayed
facts.
form to
Ancient spirit
Mumra,
of
the ever living
evil.
source? Yeah, he was the
Yeah,
ever
very
living
living.
source of evil. Come
Yeah.
on, man, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
iconic,
was
bro. No,
he's the
nobody
evil
else ever claimed that
embodiment.
in the history. Yeah,
And you know
nobody
who
ever
else?
claimed that in the history of TV.
Yeah.
I believe Monstar was like a knockoff too.
It was the same. It was no, it
Yeah.
was the same company
Silverhawk.
did it, the same
Same.
artist,
Yeah.
and it
Same
was the same
fucking
voices.
voice
Yeah,
actor.
same
Yeah.
people that
Same
made
animation.
Thundercats. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Same
Yeah,
people that
man.
made Thundercats made. Yeah, because Monstar was yeah, he would be like Moon Star of
Mhm.
Limbo, the
Right.
Yeah.
Fight,
Same shit.
Mm,
the Muscle,
Yeah.
the Menace. Yeah, he was that was a monster. That was iconic too, by the way. I
Yeah.
watched the interview. They said the guy that did that, they said he would get so into the role when he did Mumra. They
He
said
be
like they would back
screwing.
up. They said because he would be spitting and his
Yeah.
hands be flying everywhere. So they said they would just back up. But they said he loved playing Mumra. They said he would just be all into it. Like he would be like leaning over the podium reading the like they said he would be acting it out like as he was doing it. And they said,
mm,
man, they said we backed up when he was playing Mumra, we backed up. They said we
mm.
backed up and let
That's
him have
dope.
stage.
That was Hammond, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hammond.
Yes,
Why do I know that
yeah,
name?
that's Hammond. Yeah,
Hammond. Earl Hammond. Was that the voice? I believe. I
Hold
believe.
on.
I think that was
yes, I
him.
think it's Earl
Hold
Hammond. Yeah,
on.
Was that Hammond?
yes,
Wait.
I think
That that feels right.
computer. Who played the
Voice
voice of
actor.
Mumra?
Yep. Oh no. Atkin down.
Robin Atkin Downs.
Robin Ack. Okay,
Robin
Robin
Atkin Downs.
Atkins.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
Robin Downs.
Okay.
So, but it does.
Okay.
Why does it say Earl Hammond? No, it says Earl Hammond.
Is it Earl
Yeah,
Hammond?
no, Earl Hammond. Hammond, perhaps best remembered for providing the voices of Mumra, Jaga,
Okay.
and others on. Yeah, no, Earl Hammond. Why does it say Robin Atkin Thundercats? Oh, he's Lion-O and Panthro, maybe. I don't know. Fucking whatever.
Oh,
No, but it
okay.
does say.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna fuck you up. It says Mumra, voiced by Robin Atkin Downs, and then below that
Robin
it says
Atkin
Earl
Downs.
Hammond was the voice at Mumra. So
Maybe.
yeah,
They
they probably
maybe.
two different series. Maybe I don't know.
maybe. Okay,
You know,
because that's
Maybe,
what
maybe
Strange.
season, maybe
maybe
seasons.
something like that.
yeah,
Seasonal
Yeah.
maybe.
episodes.
Yeah, I don't know that name. Just Hammond. I remember that name. I don't. But
Yeah.
okay, cool, go nuts.
Yeah.
But I love those from the 80s, 90s. I think was the epitome of great hero cartoons. You got Batman the animated series. You had
Yeah.
Spider-Man, the
X-Men.
X-Men
Yeah.
animated series. Heck, even Iron Man
Superman.
wasn't complete trash. Even at that point, there's a couple
All
of
right.
good episodes in there. Hulk was
Mhm.
decent. Like there was a lot of good hero content that we took inspiration from, but primarily X-Men the animated series and of course Batman the
Batman.
animated series is
Yeah.
pretty much on the Mount Rushmore of maybe one of the greatest TV shows ever put onto the American stage. But I took a lot of inspiration from the things that I came in contact with to make a beautiful amalgamation, and I'm definitely happy that I lived during the time that I lived in. That's for sure. To
Facts.
actually gain the type of experiences.
Yeah, man, and I can tell that you're very proud of this work, man. And it makes it made that I think that's important. It makes me wanna read it and get into it because you're so into it. And the story, real quick, it just says the mysterious virus has taken Washington D.C. by storm. The city is in a panic and has gone crazy. High school student named Zamir Green has been exposed to the virus and his body begins to mutate. It seems like music is triggering something deep down within him. What in the world is going on? This series is an action drama musical. Throughout the series, our main character will discover that he's gained the ability to gain a different superpower based on the genre he listens to. The powers are based on the emotional, stereotypical response that people have in our world toward particular genres of music. That's so ill. And so what you're saying is that when he listens to hip hop, he can do a certain power.
Ah, he's a sharp one, Mr. Reno. A sharp one
Heavy
indeed.
metal, right? Jazz, whatever. And so
That's
what are
it.
the powers? Give me a rundown. What does he
So
get?
absolutely. So in this issue, we focus on five genres in particular, just so for the sake of simplification, because
Yeah,
if that was the case, we'll be here all day.
right.
So in this arc will be 5,000 pages long. So in this issue, we focus on rock, we focus on hip hop, we focus on classical, dance hall slash reggae, and techno. Those are the five genres of music that our hero ends up coming in contact with. And so I did a lot of research on the emotional and psychological things that music does to the human body. So one of the and I had to narrow it down quite a bit, to be honest with you, because sometimes it affects certain people differently than others, and so on and so forth. So I had to go to about a rounded a power set that a lot of people can instantly identify with. So for a rock transformation is his what I like to call the hulking version or the strength increase. Not only does his strength increase, we also get an adrenaline increase and of course a physical change as well. But he also becomes more aggressive
That's him in the
because the
background, the
idea,
big one.
yeah, in the back, the big hulking one.
Mhm.
And for visual stimuli for the viewing reader, I changed their hand colors for every single transformation.
Mm.
So when he uses rock, his hands turns red. When he does techno, his hands turn blue. And when he does hip hop, he gets armored skin and his hands turn white. When he's listening to dance hall, his hands turn yellow. His legs kind of turn into a blur. And for the classical music, we get the head growth and his hands turn green. So so we'll
Mm.
get visual cues so that we won't have to focus too much on what genre is playing every time, but visually, the reader will see exactly what the transformation is. Even if it's like a quick moving panel, you can see the hand color change, so you can know exactly what ability he's using when he's switching between the genres.
So let me guess.
Mm-mm.
Sure.
Classical, he becomes super intelligent.
Very good.
Dance hall is like super speed.
You got it.
Hip hop, super durability.
Yep, you got it.
All right. And techno is where I'm is it magic
Techno
or
is
energy?
pretty is energy. My man.
Ah,
My
yeah, yeah.
man.
I like
Well
it.
done. Well
I
done.
like
Well
it.
done.
Now,
And look, and you look, and
what about polka? What happens when he hits polka?
yo, Stu, that is the
Now
What
Weird
color does
Al
he
on it.
turn?
Stu,
What
you
color
know
does he
what?
turn, and what happens?
That's the funniest thing because
Polka
What
dot.
2 days
happens
ago,
when he what happens when he listens to Barry White? What happens when Barry
yeah.
White come on?
So this is the
That's
beautiful
R&B.
thing. This is the beautiful thing. This is exactly the type of discourse I wanted when I created this character.
Right.
This is exactly the discourse I was shooting for because the possibilities are endless.
Mm-hmm.
And that is exactly what like literally you all are doing exactly what I set out for this character to be. For somebody to be like, what if he look, I'm gonna tell you a story. When I released the first issue of this, I was doing a signing at one of my local comic book shops, and a man and his 10-year-old son came and bought one of my books. And his son came to me. I signed the book for him. And you know what his son asked me? He said, I like your book. I have a question. I said, lay it on me, son. What you got for me? He said, what if he listens to 2 songs at the same time?
That's a perfect 10-year-old question right there.
And I sat there, I was
That's
like,
a good question.
son, that's an excellent question. But that's exactly the type of juices that I want the brain to be flowing because I want to see that creativity. I want to see people excited. I want to see people thinking about, oh, what if he listened to bluegrass and whatever? Like
Right.
what would that what would come of that? That's the type of stuff. But Stu, you're funny because on Friday I was doing an interview. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. Good grief. And somebody else said that. They were like, I hate polka, but what would he do if he listened to polka? I'm like, wait, what?
Or if he listened to blends, right? He got hip hop with R&B music, or some mashup.
Or what if you listen?
Exactly.
What if he listens to Andre 3000's new album?
The flute.
Yeah,
And he get his third eye open up and he start recording. There you go.
Exactly, but that's the type.
I don't know what genre
Exactly
that
the type of
is.
discourse. Yeah, I don't know what it is either.
What about sludge? What about sludge metal? You think if you listen to
Experimental.
sludge metal, you think he'd be like,
What?
sludge metal. You think he'd be like,
What's that?
like
You making
slow and
shit
sludge
up.
metal. You know what I mean?
What's
No,
sludge
there's
metal?
a genre called sludge metal.
Really?
There's a genre called sludge metal. I ain't never heard of that.
What's that do?
Yeah, I have
I
albums.
guess
I
as
have
the
albums of
Dark
series,
sludge
metal,
metal and
death metal.
everything.
Yeah, I heard all the
Wait a
other
minute.
metal.
Wait. I'm the
I heard
only
of
one in here
the
listening to
metals.
sludge. I'm the
I
only
guess
one
as
in
the
here.
series
Sludge metal.
progressed, then he can
sludge metal is a real
various
thing.
abilities
It's like it's a
along the way.
Thank you,
subgenre.
Sada. Thank you,
Sada
Sada.
had to look it up real
Thank you,
quick.
Sada. Thank you,
Google.
Sada.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But it is real.
All right. Y'all never
Shout outs
listen.
to-
Y'all never listen to Crowbar.
You know
I'm the only
what?
one
I
in
had
here on
never heard
Crowbar
it,
album.
but I had never heard of it, but I didn't doubt it. I didn't doubt it. I pretty much, yeah. I'm not surprised sludge metal is a thing at all.
Black
Wow.
Tusk. Nobody ever listen to Black
I'm
Tusk?
telling you,
No, I'm the
Mr.
only one.
3000,
Alice in
Mr.
Chains.
3000
Alice
is
in
gonna
Chains.
Okay, Alice in
They
Chains.
kinda,
Alice in Chains. I know Alice in Chains. Is that
Yeah.
would that be
Alice in
Alice
Chains
in
started out
Chains
as a
is
sludge. They
grunge
started out as a
metal.
sludge. They
Yeah,
That's
Alice
grunge
in Chains
metal.
is
They
grunge.
started out as a
Alice in
sludge
Chains
metal.
is grunge.
Wait.
They're grunge.
Yeah, I thought it was
They
grunge. I agree.
started
I
out.
thought it was grunge.
They started out as most grunge bands started out as sludge metal bands, and then it just progressed over. Punk rock and
I'll
sludge
take your
metal
word for it.
progressed into grunge, and that's how we got grunge. Because most punk rocker bands became grunge bands. So Alien
Yeah,
Boys,
that's true.
I'm the only one listening to
Yeah,
Alien Boys.
that I know.
That
I know.
I
That
would say
rings true.
this. I would say Dre will usher in a new era in hip hop instrumentation album.
Yeah.
I believe so. I think
Monkey.
there's a lot of artists out there that has skills with instruments and they're afraid to display it. He's gonna make it for people to do that. You know,
I will wait for that. I will wait for that Nas
I tell you,
meditation album.
you never know.
I tell y'all a
Guys,
funny story.
guys,
I tell y'all a funny story. Somebody already did it. Somebody had already did it. Somebody already
You
did
guys-
exactly what Raw Talk is talking about, and you guys would be surprised if I tell you who it is. There's somebody that did exactly what Andre did, but they incorporated it into their hip hop. Like Reno was saying, we wish he would have played the flute and rapped over it or something like that. But there is a hip hop group, a very famous hip hop group.
He can play instruments. Rakim can play instruments.
Rakim play instruments.
Flavor
Guess who did it?
trained.
Yeah. Guess who did it prolifically in their career? if you listen to their albums right now, you'll really see it. Mobb Deep, Mobb Deep. I once read an interview where they said in order to get more sounds for different beats, they learned to play instruments. Like Havoc said, he learned how to play bass guitar.
Yeah.
Um, P said he learned how to play the xylophone, the harp, and some other stuff. And he said that's when they did Hell on Earth. He said all the instruments you hear, they played those instruments live, and then they just incorporated it into the beat.
There's a lot of.
Wasn't Rapid Delight perform with instruments with a full band?
I
Am I
mean,
correct?
Yeah, yeah,
Well, Sugar Hill
Yeah.
Gang, yeah, Sugar Hill
yeah,
Gang. There
yeah.
was
Yeah.
that was a band playing, but they were just three rappers that what's her name?
Oh no, when they went in to record it,
Yeah,
they used the band.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was a real band making the
Yeah,
music. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
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 But
Run DMC did it
yeah,
without a band.
Run DMC, yeah,
You'll
Run
find out
DMC,
Nas is great at certain things because his father's a musician,
Jazz,
jazz
yeah.
musician, so he knows.
Yes, father,
He knows.
jazz musician. Yeah.
So it'll be dope.
So, have anybody
Hopefully,
seen this Madam Web trailer?
Yes, it
yes, we
looks like a
have.
joke.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yup.
It
I
looks like a
sure
Sada,
joke.
did.
Sada, now Sada, we have to ask you the obvious
Huh?
question
Oh
because
no.
this is your responsibility. This is your
No.
response. It's always been your responsibility on this show.
Ah,
Are you going to give it the stamp, or are you not going to give it the stamp?
the was stamp of
A
what?
stamp
Like
of what?
approval?
Which one?
A stamp of
Yeah,
I
approval. A
mean,
like
stamp of approval.
oh no,
that trailer does not get my stamp of approval. No, it looked like a slightly updated CW show that like snuck through the cracks. So that's literally what it gave to me when I watched the trailer. So I don't know. I don't understand why they didn't just have her like be older. I don't know why they decided to make her young. Like, oh, let's appeal to the young crowd or what. I don't know what their thought process was, but it just I don't understand. So,
Is this particular movie because yeah, Madam Web old as hell. So is this particular movie not Cassandra? It's a
Well, yeah,
Carpenter, Julie Carpenter,
okay,
the
yeah.
okay.
younger
So
Madam Web.
y'all,
yeah,
boy,
so
y'all
Madam,
rough, boy. Y'all rough.
no, no, so Matt, no, because in the when I seen the trailer come on, I'm like, oh shit, Madam Web, and I'm expecting to see a old lady basically
The old
floating in
lady,
the middle of a
right?
big ass web with a blindfold on, fucking
Just
like an
looking like she
oracle.
got a foot in the grave.
She's
Like,
like
you
an
know what I'm
oracle.
saying?
But
Her
yeah,
and
but
Jesus is like this.
Sony has finally released the trailer for Madam Web, and it's not exactly what we were expecting. Aside from its very bizarre take on Ezekiel Sims, which has him suit up as an evil Spider-Man, and the costumes for three of the movie's leads are very comic accurate. The costumes, Julia Carpenter, Maddie Franklin, and Anaya Corazon all look like they just right off the comic page, suit wise. But yeah, as far as Madam Web, Cassandra Webb, and speaking of Madam Web's lead, this take on the character is definitely different than the comic book counterpart. At this stage, it seems better at predicting future events than opening a door into the Spider-Verse. Madam Web was like a conduit to different dimensions, right? She could help you go through different dimensions in the Spider-Verse and go to
Yes,
different,
like
whatever's
Reno.
this,
Not to cut you off, Reno, but like the dude from Invincible.
right? Yeah, or like the key maker from the
But
Matrix.
I'm not even gonna lie. I did think
Yes, yes, like yes.
I'm not even gonna lie. I did think of Sada. There in one part of the trailer. Dang. Hold on, it'll come back to me. Hold on, I forgot now. I had it in my head and then forgot. Hold on, come back.
That's
Well, beyond
that's MML. That's called MML. MML.
momentary,
MML.
momentary.
Hell yeah,
Well,
brain fart. It'll come back. Trust.
No,
Way
no,
after the conversation.
marijuana
Way
memory,
after the point.
marijuana memory loss.
Hell yeah! It'll be an hour into the show. I'll be like, "Oh shit!
That's
Remember what I
called
was saying
marijuana memory.
earlier? It's back. It's back."
But beyond what's shown in the beyond what we see, just in the trailer alone, we should point out that the movie's credited screenwriters are now Claire Parker and director S.J. Clarkson, from a story by Kareem Sanga. It was previously reported that Morbius scribes Matt Sazema and Burke Sharpless were penning the screenplay. Thank God that has changed, because that could only make it even worse. But I really have zero hope for this movie at all. It's not anything
It's
that's going to
back.
be
It's
what
back. It's not a nose. Isn't that the white girl from 50 Shades of Grey?
Yeah,
Ain't that her? No.
Yeah,
No, I got
yeah,
it wrong again.
yeah.
Because remember last
No,
time I thought it was
that's
Matt Bone. Is that her?
It looked like her.
Yeah, Dakota Johnson. She's the woman from 50 Shades. Yeah, yeah.
That's her. I
She's not
told you.
her.
I saw that. I was like, I got it.
My
Who is?
thing-
Who is?
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
Madam
What you
Web.
doing?
So
What you
the
doing
actress
watching
Dakota
50 Shades of
Johnson,
Grey?
she's the lady from 50 Shades. She's
Oh,
the main-
okay.
Yeah, that's her.
Oh.
Hell yeah. I got it right this time.
What I think
What is y'all
I-
doing? First of all, what is y'all doing watching 50 Shades of Grey? What is y'all doing watching that?
Whoa,
50 Shades
wow.
of Grey.
I saw a trailer.
what I think
questions
about
to be answered here.
this Madam Web, I think
Yeah.
a lot of people are missing certain things about it.
Right. Like what?
Like Sony is slowly, and they're learning from the mistakes of Marvel's Feige's or whatever his name is.
Feige, right?
Yeah, Feige, his mistake. I think
Mhm.
they're doing their own sort of web of
Universe.
sorts, their own inter-immerse what would you call it? Their own
The Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse.
I think they're trying to do
Yeah.
Spider-Verse.
That's what they're
Yeah.
doing little by little. You got the Venom, you have the Morbius, you have Craven, you have this. So they're doing it little by little, feeding you. And then once they put Spider-Man in there, you'll be like, oh, it all makes sense now. Now Spider-Man, he's in there, and they all come together with the different elements. You'll see it. I think that's how they're working their angles. Because I mean, for this movie, I think I'll watch it. I just want to see what happens, and I think the costumes are flashbacks
Yeah.
from
Well,
different dimensions. You know, what I
Yeah.
The main concern that I've seen with fans after the release of this trailer was just the complaints that they're having, the same ones about Craven. And how are you having these people who are centered around Spider-Man in their own movie without Spider-Man? There's no Spider-Man.
Easy.
Well,
He's
these
not,
are
the
origins.
because these are this is the Spider-Verse, right? So in the comics, and there's a whole bunch of different Spider-Man comics and different, a Spider-Verse, and there's all these different dimensions and different storylines and spin-offs and shit where Peter Parker is not even talked about. And the timeline of this story is definitely kind of, we don't really know yet, but the scene on the subway in the trailer is set in the late 2000s. You'll notice a guy playing a PSP in the background, suggesting that Spider-Woman, Spider-Girl, and Aranya, because Aranya is going to be in this too. So that's another one. They won't take on those mantles until the present day, if ever.
So this is before she shows up to basically mentor and save Peter Parker, like she did, and this is before all that, correct? But didn't the original Madam Web in the comics not get her powers? She was already paralyzed and blind and old, and then, right?
No, forget Spider-Man and Madam Web from the comics, unrelated.
And that's
Spider-Man
the
Madam Web.
problem.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's
my
Don't
problem.
forget she's
But
also
again,
precognitive as well. She's also
well,
She's
if there's
also
one,
remember?
if there's one
That's
weird
one of the
thing
important things about her.
yeah, well, that's what
She's
she
precog.
basically is. Well, that's her whole thing. Is she's a precog. And if there's one thing that's definitely weird that this sort of sneak peek makes clear is that they're all powerless when they meet Cassandra, something that continues right up to what looks to be Madam Web's final battle. And with that in mind, we don't really expect to see them, gain their abilities until the very end of the movie, with those costumes likely saved for the final scene, or
Yeah,
perhaps
last damn 10 minutes to try to redeem this terrible movie that you done sat through an hour and a half of. Last 10 minutes.
If you look
or
at it,
perhaps even a future movie. And that sounds both like something that Avi Arad would do and something, and what we'd expect to see in a mid 2000s style comic book movie, which also describes your Venom and your Morbius, and based on what we've seen thus far, Craven as well.
yeah.
And there's always a chance that Madam Web could surprise us. But if you're expecting an MCU style adventure with costume superheroes and Spider-Man or Madam Web from the comics, temper your expectations. It's not happening.
I would say everybody should watch these films with a Marvel Knights idea, like because they're creating. It's a darker universe,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you look at it like, okay, they're creating their own comic, their own idea through that. It's not really going off of what we know in comic lore or anything. They're just creating as they go along by taking certain elements of those comics and weaving a new story in their own universe. So that's how I see it. So I'll give the movie a chance. You know what I mean? Just to see where they're going with it. You never know. They may pop up all of a sudden. You're like, oh, this is what it's all about. Sometimes you just gotta watch it and analyze
Can't
it
blame him.
first.
And
I
like Real
mean,
Talk, I get where you're coming from, in
Right.
in that regard, because this isn't MCU streamlined stuff.
Yeah.
My
Can you
problem
blame
is
him?
is usually, oh no, not for one solitary second, no way. But my
Yeah.
problem
I get
is
you.
not. Let's just take the quality of the movies out of proportion.
Mhm.
Venom has been the only one that's been a successful franchise. That term loosely. Morbius bombed twice, and Craven is going that direction. Like the idea is okay, with the idea of building up the idea of the Sinister Six, if that's even where they're going. Who knows?
Mhm.
But here's the kicker: who is this for? There is no audience that's kicking their doors down, that's eager to see Madam Web. There's no
that's
one
what I'm
kicking their
saying.
doors down to
So
That's what
why
see
I'm
did
Craven.
they
asking about the whole
It's
MCU right now. Who is it
why
for?
did
there's no
they
audience.
follow up the Marvels with another chick flick?
That's all that's
And
coming down
Why
the
they
pipe.
do
it's
that? They
timing.
should have they
It's
should
the
have cut the
MCU.
monotony and came out with something else, and then ushered that in. You know what I'm saying? Later on, it's like bomb,
But
bomb.
bloodshed.
Do you feel what I'm
That's
saying?
bloodshed. That's MCU. This is
Yeah, two
Sony.
different studios, two
They're
different.
But
not
but
even
But
related.
wait, but hold on.
That's right. That's
They
right.
are
Because it's
trying
Spider
like
Man and
Sony's
Sony. You're
not
right.
trying to bleed into the
Hold on,
MCU.
Sada.
They've been
Sada.
trying to
Sada.
do Avengers.
Yeah.
Sada. Would you say that again, please?
Oh yeah, no. I was just saying like let's not act like Sony's not trying to bleed into the MCU, which I think is where my confusion comes from because it's like if
Hmm.
they want to do their own thing, I totally respect that. But then at the same time, you're trying to bleed into the MCU and make that all connect. Like there's reports that Spider-Man 4 is going to merge the universes. We saw with Morbius, they tried to bring in Vulture. And then with Venom, now he tapped into the MCU for a second and then tapped back out. So it's like, if you're going to commit to your own thing, then do that. Don't try and blend in with the MCU and then get surprised when people are like, oh, why is this not like this, that, and the third, or it's not similar to this, that, and the third within the MCU.
Exactly. That's confusing as
That's
hell.
just my
That's confusing as hell.
But what
Straight
I'm
up for
thinking,
for the viewer.
but what I'm thinking is, and this is from my point of view,
yeah.
they see where the MCU is, and they're bombing. The MCU is going down in flames. So
Yep.
they're like, we're gonna separate. But in our separation, we're gonna put out our own quote unquote chick flick and do better than that MCU because we have a story. And
because ain't nothing wrong with female characters, yo, and
nothing
female
wrong with
as
female
long as the
characters
story
at
is
all.
done well. Yeah,
I want to
that's
see this
dope.
Madam Web. I want to see them do better than that MCU because the story matters. So if that
Yeah, well,
story is solid and it connects within that Sony universe, because that's what I'm dubbing it. That's Sony universe. That's totally separate from MCU, and they're trying to separate far away from them. The only thing that truly ties them in is Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
Nothing
the
else.
only one that they're linking, and really,
nothing
but
No, they're
Sada's right.
linking in Vulture as well, and they've
Spider
tried to link Venom now.
But
with
that
the
comes
studio.
along with the Spider-Man at Vulture. They can
because of
change that
Spider-Man.
Vulture. up.
That's
They can
right. They
change
have
it up.
everything Spider-Man down to the. It basically it's arguably people that have even been introduced in Spider-Man.
Like,
Arguably, it's like if you're a character in Spider-Man, Sony got you essentially.
But if
From
you
what
look
I
at
understand.
what's happening, they can change up that Vulture. Look what they did with the Rhino. Remember, the Rhino was forget the actor. He was in a
Yeah,
mech suit.
Paul
yeah.
Giamatti.
Yeah,
Giamatti, yeah,
Giamatti. But this
yeah, pretty much.
Rhino is totally different. It's all
right,
genetic
right,
with
So
Craven.
right. Yeah,
See,
they.
I think the issue with Madam Web at this point is that they released a trailer at the wrong time.
Yeah,
The
I,
timing
that's
of this
part.
trailer could not have
That's
been
what I
worse.
was trying to say. It's just not.
Literally,
It's not. No.
the Marvels was bombing as we spoke, and then literally they dropped a trailer of another girl power, girl boss film. The
Right.
timing could not have been worse because the
Well,
viewing public is sick and tired. Like, and as Reno said, there's nothing wrong with female characters. I'm a huge fan of female characters. I got, like, when I was a kid, all on my walls. Good grief, yes. But this is,
that's
but
what
the
bothers me
problem,
about the Echo show that's about to come out, because I
and
think
it's
it's
gonna
gonna be
bomb.
really good, but I think
It's
it's
gonna
bad
bomb.
timing because of the
Timing's terrible.
fucking. Yeah, it
Yep.
sucks because I think it's gonna be a good show. But
Yep, but
I have
timing.
I have high hopes for the Marvel Spotlight because that's again they're trying to. It's somebody. There's somebody at Marvel that's like the MCU. Like there's other side to Marvel, and we need people to know that there's people in Marvel. There's a camp here that's not down with that shit, and we're starting up our own shit. It's going to be called Spotlight. We're putting out Echo. We're going to show you how to do a female lead and how it can be dope. And that's what I'm hoping that we get. And that's my,
It seems like with these superhero movies, it's either accurate or I guess theatrical. It's like they can't do both. They can't just make a good comic accurate movie. You either get one or the other. You
yeah,
know, I think that's kind of messed up.
sad.
Yeah, it's sad, but then you got to
Yeah.
understand the business part of it too. It's like they have to make it slightly different for the audience who are not hardcore comic collectors and readers to absorb it easily, because we can take the hardcore stuff about the comics. We can see the nuances. We can see all the little details and we can understand it. But your average watcher, they just want boom, boom, excitement, this and that. You know what I mean? So they have to play to them because they go out in droves to watch this stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
honestly, I mean, just to the general viewer, would you rather sit through 50 Shades of Grey chick or just straight up like a chick over 50 that's gray? Like, which one would you sit down and
Listen,
actually want to watch? You feel me?
Yeah,
I'd rather watch the over 50 that's great with the blindfold.
Well, y'all
Me
rough.
We
personally,
would,
Y'all is
we
rough.
would.
Well,
That's
y'all
what
rough.
he was saying. Like, we would,
We
but the
would.
But
average
this is the
person
thing.
ain't gonna sit through that. You know?
But it's the thing. This is what I'll say, Bloodshed, on that
Y'all rough,
regard.
bro.
This is one thing that
Y'all
I've
rough.
experienced over the years
Boy,
is
y'all
that
rough.
the individuals that aren't hardcore comic book people, 9 times out of 10, I have been asked like, "Oh, hey, is this character the way it's supposed to be? Hey, is this character the way it's supposed to act?" And I'm like, "No." Like, "Oh, it's not. Okay, then I'm not going to see it." And to the point that Raw Talk was talking about was about making films for the general audience. I agree. I agree that a lot of stuff has to be watered down and changed and so on and so forth. However, the viewing public has now turned their back on this garbage. They have already moonwalked the other way. And 2023 has got to be the year of the normies saying no with their dollars. Which I've never seen in my life. Literally, the amount of bombs that have come down the pipeline this year alone is
That's
got
what
to
I'm
be
saying. You
historic.
can't even tell a story inaccurately correctly. You feel what I'm saying? And you
Yeah.
pumping hundreds of millions of dollars
Well,
into trash.
like I look at it like this: if you make a Vietnam film or a war movie, right? You make a war movie, and all the combat veterans see this movie and they're like, "Yo, this movie is dope. This is official. This is authentic. This is this is what we're talking about. We love it." Guess what? Everyone's flocking to that theater. But if all the combat vets say that shit is whack, that shit is not real, that's not what it's like, that shit is garbage, guess what? No one's gonna go see it. Now, the same thing happens with a comic book film when all the comic book collectors and comic book nerds come back and say, "Yo, that shit is dope. That's right out of the comics. That's authentic. That's what I'm talking about. Fuck yeah." Everyone's flocking to the theater. when you have a fucking musical or you have a dance number, you know what I'm saying? You do this bullshit, and we're gonna come out of the theater shaking our head, going, "What the fuck was that?" And everybody else is gonna be like, "The comic guys
That's
don't
what
like
happened
it,
with
so I'm
Miles.
not going
That's
to
what
see it."
happens with Miles. That's what happened with Miles. That's how it blew up. It's all the
Well,
comments
yeah,
that's like, yo, you gotta see this, yo.
because
And that's
it's
how that blew
good.
up.
That's what
You
I'm
know what I
saying.
mean?
That's what the MCU doesn't understand. They think, let's not make these for the comic fans. Let's make them for the general audience because that's how we can get a bigger audience. No, you're gonna get a bigger audience, a bigger turnout by making the movie for the people that the movie's about. Just like if it's a fucking movie about airplanes and all the pilots say that shit is legit, it's how it works. That's how planes are. That's real. Then we're gonna go see that movie. But if all the pilots say planes don't fly like that, there's that instrument's not in the fucking thing or whatever, you know what I mean? We're gonna be like, okay, it's whack. We're not gonna go see it. Why
And you
don't
know
they?
what that
Why don't
dance
they
That's a
apply
fact.
the same fucking thing?
that
That's all
dance
the
number
movies.
that dance number in the Marvels was for Bollywood.
Straight up,
And they didn't watch it either.
they hated it.
Yeah, it's like I understand like catering to like the general audience, but they're doing it to a point where they're insulting their intelligence, and that's why
Yeah,
they're like, we're not, no, thank you, no. That's why it's been bomb after bomb because you're treating them like they're 2 years old, and the writing is just awful. So it's like, what do you really expect here?
yeah,
Yeah, you can't even make a good movie out of something you done basically pulled out your ass.
Yeah.
Because that's not
And
what
whoever's
it is.
approving
You
it,
can't even do that right.
That's a mess.
like
That's
whoever,
deep.
yeah,
I don't know, and that's why I'm nervous about
whoever's
the
approving it
spotlight
needs
thing
to be
because
dude. What do
fired.
you?
Like, let's
I
just
don't
Wait,
keep
hold
it a
know.
on.
buck. Whoever's approving it, like look at like what they had with the problem they had with Daredevil.
Mm.
Now look at
Yeah, behind the scenes.
like look at the problem they had with Daredevil, and they admitted it. The CEOs of Marvel admitted it, and in Disney, well, CEOs of Disney admitted. They said, look, Daredevil on Netflix was an action-based show. It was literally that's what literally made it successful as it was. But then
Yeah.
you get here to Disney, and we got these writers that we hired that are writing this crap where Daredevil doesn't show up or even suit up until the fifth episode. Other than that, he's sitting in the courtroom like She-Hulk, trying cases
Oh,
and trying to put the pieces together on there. The hallway scene where he was fighting the hallway scene and the Netflix, that was like the best fight scene I've seen since the raid. Like, I'm gonna keep that
Yeah,
a buck. Like that was everything about the Netflix, it was accurate. And Marvel's gotten
Yeah,
away
I'm
from the
rewatching
action
that whole
and they
shit.
want drama. And people don't want drama. I want to go to the movies. I'm paying my $23. I like IMAX. I gotta go with I want to see my movies in IMAX. I want to be entertained. I don't want to sit there and watch the actor crying like they do Punisher, crying over his feelings and what happened to him the whole movie. I don't want to hear that. Put the suit
Well,
on. Let's get some action. Listen,
Stu,
every Marvel movie
Stu,
need to be as action packed as John Wick. If you ain't on that
Stu,
level of John Wick action and it's a Marvel,
Stu,
then you ain't got a good movie. That's just it. Period. Point blank.
Stu.
So you want
Listen,
a bunch of superhero
listen.
movies of folks dying left and right.
Hold on,
Left and
Stu.
right.
Yep.
Stu, I got some good news for
Yep.
Stu. I got some good news for you, Stu. You're gonna love this shit. The Marvel, the
Yeah, why not?
John Barrett,
I want to
John
be.
Barrett.
Listen, when the
The
gladiators,
MCU is giving John
if we
Barenthal's
all lived in
Punisher a
good
comic
time,
accurate
and we went to see the
costume.
gladiators, we went to
Imagining
see the
it.
gladiators standing
Listen what
around
I'm
talking
telling
about.
you, Stu. Listen what I'm telling you. I'm giving you. I'm breaking. I'm hooking you up right now. Punisher is getting the black and white, the comic accurate joint.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
All right, John Barenthal's Punisher is getting the comic accurate costume,
About time.
just like on the Daredevil Born
About time.
Again.
Because I'm tired of him looking like
Cap-
the lead guitarist. Check it. Because Reno, I'm tired of the Punisher looking like the lead guitarist. He looked like a lead guitarist from a '90s band. He got a long trench coat. He got the Punisher symbol. It's like half painted on, half painted off, and he's got
Nah,
this
that was
long trench
dope.
coat with all these guns under it.
I
No,
He
dug it.
said
I
sitting there
no,
really
looking
dug
like
it.
he's
I
opening for
like that.
Godsmack.
That's
That's my
this is not an
Punisher
'80s
right there
band.
with
All
the
he
trench
needs is a
coat.
guitar, and he can do a rock video.
I really
Mm,
dug it. I
Because
dug the fuck out of it.
he hit the
I did.
shotguns under there and
I
everything.
I
That
I
shit was
didn't.
dope.
You know what? Know would have been dope. Know would have been dope if he had a comic accurate suit with a brown coat like he does in the comics, with a headband on.
I
That's
mean,
fly.
but
That's
see,
fly for
then
me.
again, you
Yeah,
want the
black with the white gloves and the
grittiness.
white boots with the black.
You want the
That's dope.
grittiness of Punisher, and sometimes that the
Why not?
comic thing don't mesh with the
Why not,
grittiness
bro?
of it. Like Baron thought, I also hear that he wants the writers from the show to reprise their writing, to lend their writing to the Marvel. You know what I'm saying? For them to write the story to move forward from the Netflix. They want
Fact.
those guys for that and a Daredevil.
I
Yeah,
want the writers.
that'd be dope.
I
This
want
is,
the
this is
writers
what
from
I'm
John
hearing.
Wick to write for Punisher. That's what I want. I want whoever wrote
Yeah.
John Wick write for Punisher. That's who I want to write.
I mean, I
Go
get.
get them guys and
Punisher
Well,
girls.
no,
perfect.
no.
Whoever they are,
You know what?
had
If
them.
they had the choreographers from John Wick, not the writers, the choreographers, to make it look dope like John Wick and have all that dope action. But I don't want them writing comic book stories. But shout out to Norman Radman for shouting out to Ray Stevens, man. R.I.P. The great.
He was
That was my favorite Punisher, up to date. War Zone, I think it's called. The movie is it's the illest one. It was dope. But yeah,
Yeah, Warzone.
Barenthal is my Punisher now. It's just like the dude. He looks like the Punisher. He acts like he's
bro, I love it.
training. He's really training. He's getting his gun skills up. Everything.
Yeah,
It all. And I'm
he
okay.
he murked the
No,
dog
I'm with
in
y'all. I don't
Daredevil.
have a
And
problem.
no,
I don't have a problem with who.
watch Daredevil season 2
I don't
again,
have a problem
Stu.
who plays Punisher.
Watch
Yeah,
season 2 again.
listen, Daredevil was fine. I don't have a problem with who plays Punisher. I got a problem with the way that they portray Punisher.
You just want him
He always
nonstop
cries.
killing,
He's
nonstop
sitting
killing.
around. He
He
ain't
never
that,
cried.
man.
He never
just,
cried.
yes,
He
because
never
that's what
cried.
Punisher comic is. He never cried in a. He cried. He cried.
He didn't
let's
cry.
put
Man,
he cried.
you
Let's
don't
put
even
right
want
now.
opening
All
credits.
Punisher
He just
ever
wants the
did in
movie to
that
come on,
series.
somebody get shot.
All he ever
Yeah,
did
he
was
didn't
talk.
watch the movie.
And it
No, I
don't
don't.
stop till credits roll at the end.
Boom.
Everybody
Let's
get
get it
money.
You just
popping.
want nonstop
Let's get
action.
it popping.
All right.
Well,
Well, listen,
that's right.
listen. The
Yes, why
Invincible.
not? It worked for John
Listen,
Wick. Why can't it
listen.
work? What could you do for Punisher?
All right. So the Invincible show creator Robert Kirkman let it slip about a major spoiler about Steven Yeun playing he will be playing in the MCU. Yeah, Yen voices Mark Grayson, the animated Invincible show, and he fits that fucking role. I mean, he really does. He's great for the character of Invincible. Perfect. But Kirkman says, quote, "My good friend Steven Yeun is playing the Sentry in a movie."
I heard.
Sentry.
Who are casting? Who are casting these people? I'm very, very confused.
I'm saying, like, I don't understand. Like, and you know what it is?
I really think they got a dartboard full of pictures and they
that
just
can't be
blindly throw
Sentry.
darts at it.
Yeah, it's like,
Sentry. Wow.
What's
they have
wrong with a
they have
little
board of,
diversity?
hot actors of 2023, and then they have like their eyes closed, and then they just and then
So a
like,
dart.
yeah, that's our man
Yeah.
right there.
Yo,
Yeah, they got two boards. They got characters over here, actors over here, and they just throw two
I
darts.
saw an AI of him as Sentry in the suit. His face in his.
It looks ridiculous.
There's no amount of AI that can make that look right. There's no amount.
Yay,
Absolutely.
representation.
We're gonna get Dinklage as Dr. Doom. Watch.
You know what? My thing is that I don't consider that representation. You know what's representation to me is when they take an Asian creator that wrote a comic and created a character and make that character in the movie and cast him with a great actor like Steven Yeun. That's representation.
All right. Speaking of, you seen the new Avatar for Netflix?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Cast that shit right.
That looked dope. That looked better than the Punisher series. I'm gonna keep it a buck. But you got a point because remember when we did Doctor Strange? Remember we did Doctor Strange, right? The Sorcerer Supreme was not a woman in Marvel. It was not a woman. It was an old Chinese man. They made it a bald white woman.
Right.
Nobody got that. Everybody was like, "Why would you?"
Well, no, everybody hated it, and then they were like, "Why'd you do it like that?"
In the first Doctor Strange movie. Like,
well, they did
everybody
it.
was upset at that.
They did it because they thought having
but
They thought having an old Asian guy guru would be stereotypical and racist. But what all the Asian people said was, "Where the fuck is our character?" You see what I'm saying? That's why they fuck up with this representation thing. It's not they're doing it wrong, and
It's like
they're,
they're whitewash or pandering. There's like no.
yeah,
They're
That's all it
trying
is.
yeah,
so
yeah.
hard that
There
it
was
seems
no need to
racist.
race Ben Century. Not to say that him being white is integral to his character. I assume it's not. But the thing about it is like, it just doesn't make any sense. It's not going to add any pizzazz that you casted Stephen Young. It does
Right.
nothing for the
And
character.
him in the blonde,
Right.
And you put him in the Thunderbolts of all movies that already has little buzz around it. So it's just like,
Whack.
all right.
him in the blonde wig is not gonna look cool.
Well, they're not. Yeah, and I don't think they're gonna even put him in the blonde wig. And that's the thing. It's like this. You know,
His hair is glowing.
listen. It's. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking, but it's not so much that him being white is integral to his character. It's just that for fans that grew up with that character, being a super fan, that's their favorite character. They grew up. Now their character finally gets to be on live action, and he don't look nothing like the character that I grew up loving.
Yeah.
Like that's not
Nothing.
fair.
Nothing. Not even a little bit.
I don't care about Century, to keep it a buck. I don't care. He's not a character I really give two shits about.
Reno, I have some casting. I got some casting. Cast me as the Human Torch. That's where we're going next. Forget it. Forget it.
Man,
Destroy
now
it.
we got
Let's
it. Now we talk.
Hey
Now we
yo,
gotta
hey
hit.
yo, if they want to
Now
give
we
away
gotta
some
hit.
money,
Michael B.
Hey, I'm
beat
with
you though. Michael B, my homie, he beat you already.
Yeah, Michael B already took that.
Shout out to Mike.
obviously they got some money they need to spend. I will email you my Cash App. Bring it on over. I'll spend it for you. You don't have to do
Yeah.
this. Give it to me.
Yeah.
And I bet you the personality is going to be so different from the comics. It's not even the
Yeah.
same character. They did this with Mary Jane Watson, where
You're just
race bent her, and it was like, okay. But then you didn't keep the same personality. You made a completely new character and tried to bite off of Mary Jane.
I just called her MJ.
Yeah, and you can't have it both ways. Like you can't do that. So it's like,
Yeah.
Yo, for real, this is about to be cringe. I ain't even going front. This is about to be cringe.
It is because I mean, what the fuck? I don't know. So Century Stephen Yin's role seems to have been confirmed. It's definitely happening, but him joining the cast of Thunderbolts was cool news, but him playing the Century is what is weird. That's what don't make no sense. And again, it's not that he has to be. It's not that I care or that it matters if he's white or it's just that if you're a fan of this character, why is Marvel? They're basically just using the name.
yeah, pretty much.
You're just using the name, and it's like, why? Why not use a dope Asian character for that actor if you really have to find a place for that actor right now?
I'm not even gonna front. That what you just said kind of put me in the mindset of how I felt about the X-Men movie when they hired Halle Berry for Storm. That's how I felt. I was like, you could have got there's unknowns that could have actually me and my brother went through and we said Janelle Monáe could have played a better Storm than Halle Berry. It would have been more comic book accurate the way she looked.
Was she
And
acting?
things like that. I just didn't agree with Halle as Storm.
Maybe because
Yeah.
because she act the part. Like, let's keep it a buck. She might not be an
She
acting
had
part,
the
you
name
know,
though.
and-
She had
Halle
the
Berry
name as well.
Yeah.
She's Halle Berry.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah,
got to
that was-
remember during that time,
Yeah.
Bloodshed, I agree with you, but we also have to remember at the time, like Marvel's comic book movies at the time were not what they are today. They needed some type of name to try to draw people in, especially for an X-Men that wasn't going to be comic book X-Men. It was just going to be an action adventure with the X-Men characters because they were very nervous on how to use the character. And this was Halle Berry right off of Monsters Ball Halle Berry. This is Super Saiyan Halle Berry at this time period. So it was like hey, because you might not like if you're into Star Trek, you knew who Patrick Stewart was. If you were into like the plays and Broadway, you knew who Ian McKellen was. Nobody knew who Hugh Jackman was. Nobody knew any other character that was casted. Period. But they're like,
Yeah,
hey,
that's why.
Halle
Yeah,
Berry.
that's why what he said put me in the mind of that they needed they just using the name.
Yeah,
It was the same thing with that casting for sure.
Yeah, In this case, for Century, and this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to go on a limb. First of all, this casting is terrible. Let's just get out of the way. But the casting of 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 Invincible is to drag in people because Invincible is the most popular show on Amazon right now. It's doing gangbusters.
Yeah.
And nobody, and I mean nobody, knows who the Thunderbolts are except for us on this panel. Okay.
Right.
No one knows who the Thunderbolts is. But it's like, hey,
Right.
he was from Invincible. I like Invincible. I'm gonna go
Right.
watch the movie. But this movie, more than likely, is going to bomb harder than Hiroshima. All right. This joke is not gonna be good. But it is what it is. But they got to do what they got to do.
But Dre, I get that. But here's the flip side of that coin. Nobody knew who Guardians of the Galaxy was except for people sitting here in this chat. So we knew who Guardians of the Galaxy was. We knew what they were doing. But when they released it, the general public was like, "Damn, who's Guardians?" We know it's from Marvel, so we'll watch it, and that's what they're banking on. Like we know it's a Marvel thing, so we'll watch it and get into it and see what it's all
Man,
about.
Guardians was a good movie. Guardians 1, Guardians 2, Guardians 3, all good movies.
Yeah,
this
and
is
that's
out the starting gate a bad movie.
That's their mistake. That's their mistake because they've been trying to recapture that success of the Guardians ever since the Guardians came out. And I think I honestly I do I've said it a million times. I think it's been the MCU's biggest problem is that they've been trying to capture that comedy shtick that you know Guardians did so well, and they've been trying to put that into every movie since. And it's like sometimes we just want a serious action movie or a serious drama or just something serious. I mean, you could have a little joke here and there, but stop with the over the top, goofy, cartoony bullshit.
I know, damn. They had Thor stripped naked in the middle of everybody.
Yeah,
with like mom tattooed on. Did you see his tattoos that was on his back? They go too far, man. It's borderline.
Writing and great acting. They need. That's all they need is great writing and great acting. I mean, when they killed off Iron Man, that's when they died. That's when the MCU went down.
That's when I was like, oh man.
Yeah, because that was a great
acting. What do you have left
for the whole universe, technically?
Because
he had comedy within him. He didn't have to do anything comedic. It's just like he'll have a glance and you're laughing because you already know what he's. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're lacking. Real actors with real personalities that
can. And since the snap, it's like Marvel blipped, like all together, because it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. You know,
even the rumor of Silver Surfer being a woman.
Yeah,
even that rumor is like crazy. Like
they're
gonna make Silver Surfer a female, which is cool. But how you gonna do it?
No. But if they make don't do that.
Surfer a female.
That's not cool.
Do that, somebody gonna fire a rocket.
I don't want. Gender swapping and race swapping iconic characters is a mistake.
Silver Surfer's the woman. Someone is taking one today.
If you read the Marvel X comics,
yeah, of course. There's always like what ifs and one offs and
they had the
dimensions.
Norrad and his girl. They were both Silver Surfers.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. You can always, but when you have an iconic character, see that's the excuse though. Marvel will do that. They'll have one little niche comic where some shit happened, and they'll put it in the movie, and you'll be like, that's not comic accurate, and be like, in this one issue they did that, and it's like. But no, we don't really know what the Sentry's doing in the Thunderbolts. What his role is going to be.
And Reno, that's what I was just about to ask. Because for those that know Sentry is essentially Superman. Okay, he's essentially Superman. Yes. What the heck is he doing with the Thunderbolts?
Well, I'll tell you, there's a lot of characters. There's a lot of speculation that suggests that he could initially be depicted as the villain to the Thunderbolts team.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I think he's the op.
In Marvel,
no sense to me.
Yeah,
they're repeating the same shit that they did in Suicide Squad, where in that movie they went against Enchantress, and none of those people were qualified to take her on. Like, that's a Superman-esque level like threat, and here we are again, and it's like, what are we really doing here? Like, none of these people can really take on Sentry like head on. Like, hello,
you're right. Marvel has a habit of repetition. Look at the last Guardians of the Galaxy. What's his name? they're gonna do the Sentry the same way they did him. Well,
Yep.
Adam
Yeah.
Warlock.
Yeah, Adam
Same
Warlock.
thing. They're gonna do
Garbage.
the
Oh
same exact
God.
thing.
Garbage.
Make him like
That was the only problem with that movie, man. Because I
Raw
love
talk.
the Guardian films.
Why
Are my
did you
favorite.
say that? I had pushed that out of my memory.
I know,
pushed
right?
that out of my memory. I
I
got the
know. I've been
entire
forgetting about that
Infinity
shit.
Saga behind me. I have all 5 graphic novels of the entire Infinity Saga behind me.
Yeah.
And the greatness that Adam Warlock is, to watch him be
Fire.
bent over the table like that, that don't did a number on my psyche. Oh my
that was what
God.
I was pissed off about. Like you use him as comic fodder for some shit where he's a super powerful being.
He's a goat character, bro. He's a
Like, come on.
phenomenal
No,
character,
they
bro.
take
You made him an
gods,
infant. You
literal
made him an
gods,
infant.
and make them into a joke.
Well,
This
yeah,
is
look
a
at yeah.
god.
That's what
This,
they
you know what I'm
do.
saying? This is a mutant. This is an all powerful being, and like you said, they comic
Thor.
relief. You know,
Yeah, Thor: Love and Thunder
Well,
was the worst fucking offense of that. But in Marvel Comics, Sentry is a staunch superhero with a dark side. So he's perhaps this darkness could be put on display in this MCU film, which would allow him to again play the villain. But again, like Sada said, he's facing Bucky Barnes, Yelena Belova, Red Guardian, the female Taskmaster, U.S. Agent, Ghost, and
Reno.
and like
they're gonna
contested.
take him down, man. I can't
Reno,
wait.
they might as well just get all of us to go and fight Sentry.
Consider him
basically.
defeated.
And while he may be
the Red Hulk though.
well, and you know, and there you go. Yeah, like Red Hulk, Harrison Ford is gonna be in there, and it's like,
So it's like
with Century, it's possible that Steven Yin could have, you know, he might move on, you know, in other movies. Century might just kind of be in this movie, pop in like and not really be a main villain or anything like that. We don't really know. It's not been like said that Century's a main character or anything. What happened was Robert Kirkman was at a costume fitting with Steven Yin getting fitted for the Century costume, and he said something about it. So for all we know, he walks by the camera. You know what I mean? We don't know how his involvement is, but the character Robert Reynolds, because I know a lot of people don't even have any clue about this character. So Robert Reynolds debuted in Marvel Comics Century #1 in 2000, introduced as a middle-aged and overweight sort of everyman character who just wakes up one day remembering that he used to be the Sentry, which is a superhero with the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns. So however strong that is. Shout out Black Heroes in the building. Salute. So the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns, that's what he's got. So Reynolds' first story sees him sort of approaching like the high profile heroes in the Marvel universe in an attempt to get them to remember him, including he walks up to Mr. Fantastic and the Hulk and Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. And it's later revealed that he's a meth addict. He became the Sentry after inadvertently consuming an experimental super soldier serum in an effort to fuel his addiction. So basically, he's a meth addict, and he was taking super soldier serum to get high. And then this sort of darkness permeated through his career as a superhero. He's like, and he has these like, you know, he deals with this shit. Like it's very deep. This is another character, and I'm so glad you guys brought up Warlock, because he's another character that's super deep that I know they're gonna make light of and make a whole asshole out of. But yeah, while remembering that he is the Sentry, Robert Reynolds also remembers that his arch enemy, the Void, is the Void. Okay, now the Void is a very cool aspect. The Void and Sentry are two sides of the same person. So Reynolds and Reed Richards figure this out, that the Sentry and the Void are two sides of the same person, which forced the Sentry and the heroes of Earth to like wipe the world's memory of Sentry. That's why no one knows of the Sentry, to spare them from the Void.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually Reynolds sort of joins the Avengers as the Sentry, but his psychological problems worsen, and you know, as he, you know, constantly fails to reconcile with Robert Reynolds' Sentry and Void personas and sort of, you know, deal with that. And sort of, so again, like I said, it's deep. There's psychology and you know, drug addiction and, you know, all these tropes, and it leads to some dark and powerful storylines for Sentry, which would be fucking great to see in live action. This breaks my heart for fans of this character. Because can you imagine being a fan of this cool ass, dope, fucking deep character you've probably read graphic novels on, and you know what I mean? And they're gonna fucking make a joke out of it, man.
And then he shows up doing a choreographed dance, a whole musical number.
Oh,
played by Steven Yin.
I mean, if they do anything choreographical as far as dance, Marvel might as well pack it up after that because that's their last movie. It's done. It's done.
It's probably gonna be as you said, like Sentry's gonna be there for like 1 second maybe and leave. But they know what they're doing by letting this slip that this actor is playing Sentry because they want people to get interested again and they want to get butts in the seats. It's the same way I feel that they're doing with Pedro Pascal. If that becomes a reality, if he actually becomes our Reed Richards, like Marvel, they typically care about spoilers. Like they don't typically let the leaks spill, even with social media. But recently they haven't been caring. Like you've been seeing it in the marketing. So it's like they're getting a little desperate for my liking. I don't know.
They are definitely grasping at straws for sure. Definitely.
And having Pascal as Reed Richards, I can't even see
better if they want to survive.
Yeah, beautiful segue, Tada. Beautiful segue. Right into Pascal. I love it. So let's go there.
They had to pay him because he's under contract with Disney, so they had to place him somewhere.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
I mean, that maybe. And so there's a few schools of thought on the Pascal casting. Obviously, some people think it's great. They think he's a great actor and all these obvious things. And then there's of course the people that are like, well, is this just more race swapping nonsense? Are they just really casting him because he's really the best for the role? What's the agenda? And you have all these, and then you have Luis Guzman cast as the Thing. Y'all know who that is, right?
Yeah. I'm well aware who Luis Guzman is. Well aware.
Well, it's not going to
matter. Pachanga, right? Pachanga.
Carlito would be fun.
Pachanga, right?
Hey, you guys, real quick. Hey, my bad. I just hopped in. Hello, everyone. Which movie are we talking about?
The Fantastic Four.
They're making another one.
The MCU one.
They announced that a year ago.
Yeah. But I mean, like the last one that didn't do so well. That wasn't like. I don't know, bro. I just want new stuff. I don't need to see the Fantastic Four again.
Here's the thing, bro. It's not that they feel, we need another Fantastic Four movie. They have licensing agreements, and if they don't make these films every so often, they lose those licenses.
Yeah. So they that's the same reason why Sony is making Madam Web.
Well, wait a minute. They can't lose the license. Yeah. Well, they can't really lose the license because they bought Fox, and Fox had Fantastic Four, so they own it. I think they're trying to just redeem it because they know that there's money there, and Fox didn't know what to do with it, and now they're saying, well, we could do way better than Fox. The last Fantastic Four movie was just a placeholder so that they could keep the license. They didn't give a damn what it did at the box office.
They had to make a film.
Same thing with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with Nickelodeon.
This is why Sony is doing Madam Web. That's why Sony is doing all these Spider-Man characters to keep the license.
Yeah.
But in order to keep the license, it's because the licenses still don't belong to Disney. They belong to the families of the people that wrote those comics. Exactly. That's the kicker.
I thought it was a contract stipulation. As part of owning the license, you have to keep the franchise. You can't just let the franchise just basically die. Every so often, you're gonna have to release something, or else I'm not sure what happens if
the family has the right to bring it over.
They take it back.
They take it right back. The families of those people that wrote Fantastic Four and wrote Spider-Man, all the other people, they own that. Disney is at the time Fox was licensing away from those families so they can make some money off of it, and I'm pretty sure there's some residual income that's still going their way. That is where that stuff is coming from. So at this point, Fox has not produced anything since 2017. Let's get that out the way since the acquisition. Since the acquisition, Fox has produced Jack
but
Kirby.
but to be fair, it's been
they don't
COVID.
have to.
Well, technically they have.
Yeah,
they made a partnership with Marvel for Spider-Man, as far as the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man.
So that's the placeholder. That's the crown jewel. Spider-Man is the most sought after property. Period. The most money maker besides Superman and Batman.
Man, Black Hero, I'm not trying to hear that COVID thing. Outside been open for almost 2 years now.
Sony lose Spider-Man, they lose a great market.
No more COVID excuses. You cannot use COVID no more.
Yeah, but to be fair, you guys got. But then the writer's strike. I mean, like we have the COVID writer's strike. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't see the movie industry actually doing anything solid or good for. I mean, like anything. Like name the last. I'm sorry. Hear me out. Name the last great movie that you've seen outside of superheroes. What has cinema done in the last 10 years?
Killers in the Flower Moon.
I mean,
The Woman King. The Woman King was the last movie that blew me away.
That was the most entertaining damn movie I saw all year.
What?
John Wick.
No, Black Heroes. I get what he's saying. Like that.
I just watched The Killer the other day. That shit.
No, there's some good movies. Still, there's some okay movies, but I think he does have a point. Like Hollywood is not what it used to be. Movies are not what they used to be. We can all agree on that. I think. Like Hollywood films were way fucking better back in the day. Like
that's that originality factor. That's the originality factor that nothing original can be made anymore. Everything has already been done. All you can do is revamp and re-originate what's already happened.
No, but Black Heroes, that's been the case since day one. Movies are only rehashings of Greek myth. No, movies are only rehashing of mythology, like Greek myths, old Japanese ancient myths. You know, and they just recreate old stories that humans have always told, and they retell them in new, different ways.
Yeah.
Did any of you guys see The Killer?
Because my grandfather used to say,
yes,
ain't nothing
I started to watch.
My grandfather used to always say that.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, I ain't watched The Killer yet, but I heard it was good. I heard The Killer was good.
For me, The Killer with Fassbender.
Fassbender. Yeah.
Bro, are you talking about The Killer on Netflix?
Yes.
Bro, all right, listen. I respect the action film genre, but another John Wick. It was exactly like John Wick.
No, it was not.
Bro, all right, hear me out. Watch. So you have the sniper, which is John Wick, and then somebody does something to his girl, one of the mob bosses or one of the.
Okay.
Oh, I feel you. I feel you.
The premise is
wait. Let me stop you right there, bloodshed. Wait. Black Hero start. Let me stop you right there.
Hold on.
Right there.
Hold on.
You can't have. Wait. I got.
Hold on. Hold on.
Because I got this.
Nah, raw talk. Go ahead. Finish.
With The Killer, the premise was he messed up on the job. He wasn't focused like he usually was. So he messed up. So the consequences of him messing up, his handlers had to erase that situation from getting back to the client that authorized the hit. So he said, yo, clean it slate. This is what happens with hitmen. If you don't get the job done, you're gonna get done.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's what happened. So in him going back to where he lived, got his girl into the mix. And then he went on his rampage after that. But his rampage wasn't as crazy. It was methodical, and it was like he's back in his groove as a hitman. That's the beauty of that whole thing.
It's a genre, Black Heroes. It's a genre. It's the hitman genre. But
I'll give you that, but it was poetry. Like I did enjoy all the poetry. That was something that I did actually watch the full movie on, because I was like, man, this poetry is amazing. When he has to take in the deep breaths, when he has to count, when he's like, don't panic, don't let anybody go. And then he ends up breaking those rules. And then you see the consequence of him breaking those rules. So I'll give you that. The poetry was amazing.
That sounds dope, man. I'm definitely gonna watch this movie now.
I
started to play it, but then I was like, oh wait, I can't. Something happened. I was like, oh, I can't watch a whole movie right now, and I put it off. But I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Watch it, bro. You'll love it. It's just it's like the Hitman movie you need to see. It's like that's how I envision a Hitman truly would be. Like without all the
So wait a minute. So
spectacle
was
and
it
all the
better than
amazement.
was it was it better than Global 13? Because that was the best Hitman assassin movie I had ever seen in my life.
See, that's the spectacle stuff. We're talking about if you're going reality based, with a real hitman with doing certain consequences involved.
Like a
That
real guy, not
yeah,
not John Wick,
not
like a real, just a guy outside, regular right
So
now, regular
real.
all right. So
asshole.
The
compared to the
Professional. I was
professional,
just
which was
about
a
to say
very good
Well,
Professional.
hit.
it's
That
I
was a
think it's
very good
based off
Hitman
of
movie
the writings of those same people who
of the
influenced it.
professional.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that was a
Or
that
you'll
was
or
a
the
damn
Jackal.
good
You guys
movie.
remember the Jackal?
yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, I remember
dope.
the Jackal.
So
Yeah.
you'll love it. It's yo. I'm
Hey,
watching.
and don't get me wrong, I apologize. I actually do like the movies. I just was like, man, I don't really. But you're right. The poetry is what kept me interested in that movie because I wasn't all about the, like the get back, the revenge, and it's like, oh man, I don't want to hear the story. But the poetry,
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
So when you
Wait a
say
minute. You can't have a
poetry,
story without get back or revenge.
Well, it's
Like why would like
Yeah,
we
I was
wouldn't
just
want to
about to
see it.
say
We wouldn't
that.
want to see just a like a hitman.
Isn't that
It got
every Hitman
it's a
movie?
driving force
well,
behind right.
you
well,
gotta
that's
Yeah,
watch.
it's
part
a
of the
driving force
journey.
I'm
behind
not gonna give it
everything.
away. You gotta
Yeah.
watch the movie. I'm not gonna give it away, but when you
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
the movie, then you'll understand that
And
movie, the Hitman
and it
point
was
of
more
view.
violent. And from what I hear, it was more violent than the Punisher TV show, which leads me
No
back to what
country.
I said before. Why
Yeah.
can't the
Well,
Punisher
was
Still,
it
you
be just
still
as
you gotta
was
let
it
that
that
go,
just the
violent?
man.
killer?
Still,
The motivations of that
Come
Hitman.
on, I need
But
that violence in
the
my life.
opening scene when the when he misses the shot. Oh wait,
Yeah.
we can't tell too much, bro.
No,
Yeah,
He
no,
misses
don't
the
hold
shot
on,
and
you
he
Vicky,
watch
ends
don't,
up.
that
don't.
movie. You watch
Bro, I
that
saw
movie.
everybody
him
dies
miss it.
at the
I
I
tell
end.
you what.
saw
Spoiler
Now
him
alert.
listen,
miss it.
I'll put it to you like this. Listen, you know what's the most poetic movie of the '90s? The intro, the most poetic intro of the '90s was Face Off. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care who your mother knows. Anything.
The what?
Face Off was the
I'll give
most
you that.
poetic
I'll give you that.
Yeah,
intro of
I get
any
it.
movie. You can. I don't care what movie you pull up in the '90s.
Oh,
The intro for Face Off
poetic.
was the most poetic. It was the most poetic and action packed intro of a
What
movie I've ever seen in my life, and
what
from the
about Love
'90s.
Jones?
Period.
Still, don't say nothing else about my
Y'all
mama.
going off
I took
way
offense to
off.
that.
Got the right time.
Y'all.
But
So back to Marvel.
yeah, back to the Marvel.
Yeah.
Back to Marvel. In the upcoming, so we do have Marvel introducing a new Iron Man following Tony Stark's death in the Avengers
Yes.
Twilight.
Yes.
Featuring an older Captain America in a dark future. The new Iron Man wears all red armor and may be a villain working with Shield. Avengers Twilight #1 is coming in January 17th, 2024 from Marvel Comics. It's a new series. It's called Avengers Twilight. Because we don't just talk about movies here. This is a comic show. Yes, Marvel will officially debut a new Iron Man following the tragic and gruesome death of Tony Stark in the comics right now. So the series follows an older Captain America on one final mission in a world where, quote, the Avengers are strangers and his friends are long dead, end quote. New solicit information released by Marvel sort of reveals the key information about the series, which is coming from one of my favorite authors in the game, Chip Zdarsky, and art from Acuna, Alex Ross, who is one of the illest. He's like the fucking Norman Rockwell of comics.
Kingdom Come.
Yeah,
He's a great artist.
yeah,
Great artist.
Simone Bianchi. Yeah, but so the new Iron Man, again, he's wearing all red. I can show y'all some pictures. The summary for issue #3 also teases the fate of Tony Stark in this dark future, which asks, off the shores of New York City sits the Raft, a government facility full of secrets and danger. And can Captain America infiltrate it before the new Iron Man gives him some gruesome fate? Gives him the same gruesome fate as Tony Stark. I got promo material for the series showed Iron Man laying there seemingly dead in a smoldering crater, as well as a younger hero being mentored by a floating holographic head while working on various Iron Man tech. And it seems that this younger
Is that
hero,
Ironheart?
well, perhaps Iron Man's grandson or son, it will be the red ironclad Iron Man, and that's who the younger hero was. Though it's
Oh
possible
wow.
he'll be
Wait.
introduced.
What are they doing with Ironheart?
Oh wow.
Ironheart
Is
has
she
nothing
the
to do with
one?
it.
They're scrapping Ironheart. Ironheart is
What?
done. They scrapped
Ironheart has
Ironheart.
nothing to do with this. Well, I don't know about that.
Wow.
I don't know
Oh
about that. I'm
No,
not
no.
saying
they
that.
scrapped.
I'm just saying this.
Yes,
He's not part of this
Ironheart
story.
has been scrapped. Yeah, Ironheart's
Okay.
been scrapped because of the reception that she received
You're talking about the
in
movie still.
Black Panther.
You're talking about the movie.
What the movie
They're talking about in the
Ironheart?
comics. Yeah, they're talking about in
Oh,
the
in the
comics.
comics, no, we
I
still
was
got
talking about
Ironheart in the
both,
comics, but it's fun.
they
But the
scrapped her in the
movies,
Yeah,
comics
I'm
too.
talking about both.
No, I'm
Because
talking
in
about
the comics,
just the movies.
I'm talking about a comic right now, y'all.
yeah, in the comics, Riri was the one that
Okay.
that rebuilt the suit, and then Tony's AI came. I mean, she was supposed to be the next
In
Iron Man.
that
That's fucked up.
in that story, she is.
Yeah, and
In this story, she's not. In that story, she is. In this story, it's a different story.
universe.
Hey,
It's
but I feel
called
you. Why redo it? It was perfect. Why redo it?
No, it's not. They're not redoing it. You got to understand how Marvel works, guys. So DC as well. There'll be 5 Iron Man comics that are completely fucking unrelated, different characters, different storylines, different universes that are going on at one time. There's not just one Iron Man comic going on at Marvel, right? There's not just one Spider-Man comic. There's probably 10. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, the Iron Man Riri, that's happening in that storyline. But then there's 5 other Iron Man storylines too, and this is just one of those. It's just like a dark storyline. It's kind of like a dystopian future, and so it's a totally different story. They're not infringing on that story at all. But the preview pages shared by Marvel show a silver Iron Man attacking Steve Rogers. Although whether this is the new hero or a member of Shield's new Iron Core is still up in the air. So there's a whole bunch of shit going on. There's an Iron Core. There's a whole lot of shit. Riri's just one story. That's just one story that's going on. But you've got here. Let me show y'all some pictures of this shit. It's dope. There he is. That's
That looks crazy.
yeah. What
It looks like Exo Manowar.
Yeah, that's Alex Ross right there. Or that's dope. I need that cover right there.
So is Tony Stark alive in this one?
No, he's
And there's Kamala Khan.
dead.
No, he's dead. Yeah, he's dead in this one. That's sick. I love that cover. So it's this red Iron Man, this old Captain America, and that is, if I'm not mistaken, Kamala Khan. Yeah.
They tried to resurrect her through that.
Yeah.
Because remember, they pulled her off.
Mm-hmm.
Kamala
That's
Khan.
an
At least
old
they
ass.
have Kamal. Yeah, at least they have her in there.
Yeah, it's old Steve right there. And here's some, I guess, interiors. There's some dope concept work. There's Ms. Marvel, Captain America, and that all red Iron Man. I can't wait for the action figure.
Yeah, they definitely doing that.
Yeah, I like this art style. Yeah, what'd you say, Asada?
Well, me? Oh no, I was just saying that looks really nice.
Oh, yeah. I love that art right there. That's crazy. Yeah, and there's
Yeah,
Black
it's
and
it's
gold.
like
That looks crazy.
yeah, they got some but yeah, it's a cool like painted style. It's dope. I like it. I think it'll be a dope idea, a dope series. Because we don't really know if this new Iron Man is going to be a hero or a villain. Because a lot of stories have given Tony Stark proteges, but it's rare that they fully take on his legacy as Iron Man. Moreover, since Avengers Twilight depicts a world where the Avengers are no longer seen as heroes, is a new Iron Man even likely to be on the same side as Captain America? We all know what happened during Civil War. Like these guys don't really see everything eye to eye. And issue number 3 synopsis confirms that the two will fight. They are going to fight, but it's common for Marvel heroes to duke it out, right before they team up. So them fighting doesn't mean that they're enemies or are going to remain. So, but the series also does include, Miss Marvel, who appears with Cap and Iron Man all over the covers, and which make it likely that she's at least by the end of the series. Captain America will have forged the world's remaining superheroes into the Avengers, in this roster, sort of in this dark future. So she'll probably be on the roster. But what happened to Tony Stark, right? That's what I want to know. How does his death tie into the end of the Avengers and the new Iron Man? But we will have to check out this Avengers Twilight series in 2024, January 17th. So not that far away. It's just like a month.
I'm here for it. Hopefully that helps out with Kamala's popularity, because I know that's kind of hit or miss. So
she's getting very popular. Like on my feed, all I see is her, and like everyone's talking about her. Like they're building her up. The Marvels, like they're talking about her. So
I don't have time.
You know what?
The way I can't stress enough about how they did Monica's bullshit. That I mean, you don't know how angry that makes me. She's one of my top favorite characters, man.
Ooh.
And
Monica.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Rambo.
Yeah.
Wait, what did they do?
Female Captain Marvel, to take the name after Captain Marvel. The first Captain Marvel, because see, Carol Danvers was Miss Marvel.
So as a fan of Monica Rambeau, what did they do wrong? What did you not like?
Okay. You want to go by lineage? Okay, while Carol was the first Miss Marvel, the second was Monica. Kamala was in 2013. If you wanted to do that accurate, Monica should have had her powers, knew what to do. She shouldn't have been the last to gain anything. She should have been right up there with like Carol by the time they got to Kamala. If you want to be real about it. And it was just bullshit. I was pissed.
But
it made her extremely weak. It made her weaker than Kamala. Are you fucking kidding me? She was the leader of the Avengers at one point. Man, come on, kiss my head. No.
West Coast Avengers at that.
West Coast Avengers,
West Coast Avengers.
But you know what? I gotta feature her on my page because I haven't featured her. I don't think I've ever actually featured her. I featured her.
You need to. She's one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel universe.
I'll be right back, yo.
She's sick with it. Monica is so powerful in all across the multiverse. If that universe has light matter, Monica is there, can manipulate it, and it's just as strong, man. Exactly. Like, that movie was bullshit. The simple fact that,
I think this is what Marvel tried to do. They're trying to make Carol Danvers great again. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to bring her up by, okay, you're taking two characters, Monica Rambeau, who's strong as fuck and could hold their own movie by herself. And then you got Kamala Khan, who had a TV show that was popular. I mean, it was a great show. Great show. So you're using these two with star power, likable characters, to raise up one that nobody gave a damn about.
Yeah, and it did.
And that one brought everybody down.
Yeah. I don't know how they thought they were going to sell that movie. Like, literally, your titular character is one of the most disliked in the MCU. Basically,
man, you want to talk about chunks rising in your throat? Man, when they introduced Monica, she was using her photon energy to weld. She wasn't even. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, yo, I'm a Monica fan. Like, yo, no. I'm sorry.
That film was destined to fail, straight up and down. First of all, a lot of people, the average moviegoer didn't know who Monica Rambeau was. The average moviegoer also didn't know who Kamala Khan was because, as a lot of people that saw Miss Marvel enjoyed it. However, it was one of the lowest watched Disney Plus shows ever created, like, period. So nobody saw it. Nobody knows who she is except for those that are fans. So, and then of course you couple it with Brie Larson, who is an absolute tool. it's a recipe for an absolute disaster. So I feel sorry for the young lady, whoever plays Kamala Khan. I forget her name.
Balani.
Yeah, yes. I'm terrible with names, and I'm going to butcher her name like that. I feel sorry for her because she came with a lot of charisma. She came with a lot of oomph, but it's going to fall on deaf ears, and it has, and it's part of the Marvel problem. I still stand, and I will stand on this hill until they finally put me in the ground. In 2019, after Endgame, I said, and I quote, Marvel should take 5 years off. These are the words I said in 2019. I said, take 5 years off, build out your Fox universe. Those are the words I said. The first movie that should come out, and ironically, look, 5 years has already come. 2024 is a couple months away. So you could have just took the time, ride out that Endgame.
Wait, you would have been all right that if after Endgame, after that was done, they went on a hiatus and then they came out with the Marvels. You would have been cool with it.
No, not the Marvels. No. No. I would have fleshed out the 20th Century Fox because the acquisition was already done. So the acquisition was done for 20th Century Fox. People forget, before the Avengers was the Avengers, they did not sell. What was selling were two things: Spider-Man and the
X-Men. That's right.
Selling, period. I would take those 5 years and build out my entire X-Men universe, straight up and down. That would be my phase 4. My phase 4 been all X-Men. Then get your Wolverine movie, get your Cyclops movie, get your Storm movie.
I don't think they had the licensing or whatever, right?
At that point,
No,
they
at
did.
that
They
time
got it in
they did. I think
2017.
it had just reverted
They had it in
back.
2017, and the transfer didn't complete until 2019, right when Endgame finished. So I've got 5 years to build out every X-Men character I can possibly imagine. And then if you want to build up to something beautiful, build up to X-Men versus the Avengers. Then you can go into another cataclysmic event. Then you can really do something beautiful. But no, they sat there and churned out dirty butter for 5 consecutive years almost, and now the brand is dead. I said, take the hiatus. You have the ball. You can do anything. Do you know how hungry I would be right now? I would be dripping at the mouth if they took away 5 years and just built up something wonderful and then say, hey, by the way, guess what's coming? X-Men. My pants would be around my ankles, okay? I would be all the way in without question. It wouldn't even be a debate. But it's been destroyed already.
Yeah, but Dre,
he said balls to the wall.
You're telling a corporation to stop producing. Once you put
the
corporate element in it, that's all it becomes. Money grubbing, money grabbing, greedy.
They got so
give
greedy.
Me good
that's
content.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's
give me good
content.
That's all
give me
they
the
need
money.
to do.
Give me the money.
You said it would have been awesome to see a 15-minute clips of Cyclops. That would have been awesome to see.
But you're not wrong. You're right. You're right. It would have been. I mean, yeah, if they were smart, but like Stu says all the time, Hollywood ain't that smart.
It ain't. And Raw Talk, you're right. Like the business side of it has just completely destroyed it. And the thing is, they have not pulled a profit since 2019. So literally, if they just took the hiatus, they would have been good.
But what I tell everybody,
give
also
it to me.
learn. We all
give
have
me
to
money.
Remember, we all have to learn this and learn it well. Hollywood is subsidized by the government. They get subsidies. So they can risk whatever they want to risk. They're not going to truly lose. They'll say they lost, but they're not going to truly lose. No corporation.
And then they'll sell it to another country.
Exactly. No corporation will ever lose as long as they're subsidized by the government. They'll never lose.
Facts.
They'll give you the illusion that they lost just to gain sympathy and get people to support them and to the movies just so I can keep my great corporation going.
So
if they were really hurting, if they were really losing, the next 5 fucking movies wouldn't be more of this bullshit. But it is. They don't care. They're not losing. They're not learning a fucking thing. Love and Thunder, Eternals, the Marvels. They don't.
They don't end up just on the corner with a tin cup. Just
they got more.
They got more. They need to be careful.
Here you go, Thunderbolts. It's coming. Here you go, fucking Fantastic Four with Pachanga. Here you go. It's all on deck.
Let's see how bad we can ruin it.
Yeah, exactly. They don't care because it's just like y'all saying, man, they got the money to play, and they know they're not losing shit regardless. And they got an agenda, they got a message. There's something they want to spread. There's something they want people to start doing and believing and following. And so they're gonna put their money behind pushing that agenda out. And they'll use Star Wars, they'll use Marvel, they'll use Indiana Jones, they'll use Disney, they'll use all the biggest fucking things out there because they know that's what people are going to gravitate towards and watch, and that's how they can get the most viewers. And but it's just it's sad for us. You know what I'm saying? We lose because we don't get nothing. We don't get no good quality, well written nothing. You know what I mean? So
The
it's like
thing is,
I want to see more of
the
these.
true fans rarely do. The true fans are rarely satisfied. But when you have people who
Yeah,
don't know anything from Adam being fed up with your shit, that
yeah,
is bad.
Yeah.
yep.
That's bad. They don't
And
even know what to
listen,
be mad at and they angry. That's
I'm a
bad.
I'm a Star Wars mega super fan, lifelong, like lifelong. Since I can before I can remember, I was watching Star Wars. I was a baby, so like that's my shit. And I don't, I can't stand the sequel trilogy. But some of the shows like Mando and seasons 1 and 2 only, but there's a couple shows, a couple things that I consider good, but they're not great,
Yeah.
but they're good enough, and it's my shit, so I fuck with it.
And I'll say this, a lot of indie creators are actually creating their own web series and their own actual what they want. So you guys can, or not, but look for stuff like that because you can watch it on YouTube. You can watch it like at film festivals and everything. They have a lot of indie creators that are making stuff like Blade, Black Lightning, Static. Um, okay. All right, go get in
Damn,
the
you got some
bathroom.
bad kids. But that's what Dre was talking about. Was he was talking about the indie creators and how they're the ones that are now they always have been, but they're the ones actually giving you a story rather than vomit upon word vomit. I totally agree because my favorite series to read is a damn indie comic, Poison Elves. I stay entertained every single issue. I can't say that a lot for most of the DC runs that I read and most of the Marvel ones that I read. But for indie comics, I'm always engaged. They're constant page turners.
Yeah. And Black Heroes, did you see this is Dre's comic? This is his indie joint right here.
Yeah. Sick.
Yeah, Trouble,
Yep.
the rhythm
Yeah.
within.
This is my baby. This is my baby. She's everything to me. She's
Let's
everything.
see. Can y'all hear this?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Brutal Planet Comics. I'm your host, Trey DeBrew Daniels, and welcome to my indie go-go launch for Trouble the Rhythm Within. Yes, rejoice, my children. This is a glorious day. This comic has been a labor of love for many, many years, and I'm trying to bring it to as many people as possible. So just to whet your appetite, let me introduce to you Trouble, the Rhythm Within. Welcome to Trouble, the Rhythm Within. This comic series is an action-adventure musical that dives into the power of music. We begin our story in Washington, D.C., and someone is poisoning the water with a mutagen. Then we meet our hero, Zamir Green, a 17-year-old that has just wrapped up the 11th grade and is really looking forward to summer vacation. Oh, yeah! Unfortunately, he has been exposed to a powerful water-based virus. While performing at a house party, he begins to mutate, and things in his life are changed forever. Oh no! He now gains a different ability based on the genre of music that he listens to. He is thrust into an adventure filled with heroics, heartbreak, and triumph. Will he succeed in saving his city, or is Washington, D.C. doomed? Now that you've got a taste, let me tell you why I need your help. The funding will be going to printing of this graphic novel and to fund more comics in this series. I really would appreciate all of your help and support in this manner, and I got a lot of cool perks. Just check it out below. I can't wait to see how much you guys really love this book. It's been a part of me for some time. I really look forward to it, and I would love to hear what you guys think about it. I'm gonna leave my social media in the little square below where my face is at DeBrute00 on Twitter, X, and Facebook, and my YouTube channel. Definitely let me know what you thought of my work. From the bottom of my heart, I really thank you all for giving my project a chance, and I'll catch you all next time. Now, for the historical record, I hate the sound of my own voice. For the historical record, let it be said.
we all do. I think everybody does. I definitely do. But I watch YouTube.
You be thinking you sound all smooth, and then it plays back, and it's like, I hate that.
But no, I think everybody don't. You sound weird to yourself because the way everyone hears you is not how you hear you. Because you got to remember, your voice is inside your head with the ears on the inside. You don't know what the fuck you sound like to other people. But it should be crazy. But nah, man. Yeah, y'all, definitely that is a dope concept, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and for those that, and that's what I wanted to do. I want to do something that my insane brain couldn't come up with, that I haven't come across, because I've read, I don't know, thousands of comics over in my lifetime, and so I was like, hey, what would be something that's cool that I would want to read that sounds original, that I think can grow when I'm long gone. And this is what I came up with. Like this, I think it's a beautiful concept of the idea of fusing music and the action adventure genre, making it an action adventure musical. Then the sky is the limit. Music is everything. Music is everywhere, and how it affects you. Maybe one day, years from now, somebody else could be picking up this series and writing different effects that these musics have and things like that. It's gonna be beautiful. So for those that are able to contribute, I really would appreciate it. You guys are wonderful, and even if you can't share it on your social medias and all that great stuff, great folks in the chat and all the other wonderful stuff, I appreciate you just sitting here and listening to me and let me run my mouth about it. So I'm stoked just by talking about it.
It's physics. That's why music is used in meditation rituals, religion, and everything like that. Certain notes hit certain frequencies. You can totally alter your DNA. You can cure a disease, all that stuff. Yeah, the frequencies. Yeah, it's physics. Yeah. So what he's writing about is actually, it's actually a thing for sure. You know what I'm saying? When you feel that bass from the natives, when they do the drums and everything, when they're doing their ceremonies, you could their feet are planted in the earth, and the earth alone harvests this frequency that goes through your body and it cleanses you. It's pretty dope concept. I like it because music actually does alter your frequencies and can empower you and all that, bring you down, empower you. Music sends you through a whole wave, literally.
Yeah. Y'all make sure and check out the Brutes YouTube channel and make sure y'all subscribe. The link is there in the chat. I just dropped the Indiegogo and his ASAP Imagination. Shout out to ASAP as well. Anyone World, my homeboy Paul, salute. But yeah, y'all, it is almost 9 o'clock. About to wrap it up. But I think we did the damn thing. Anybody else got anything they wanna?
Don't think so.
Touch on, bust on. We did. Well, yeah, man. Listen, I want to thank everybody for coming, and especially the Brute man for sharing your joint with us.
One more thing.
Oh, lay it on us.
We got one more thing.
Lay it on us.
The release date for Aquaman is December 22nd. Sada.
Hey, man, I don't give a fuck.
It's going to be a what do you mean?
I think that's going to be a good movie.
What do you mean? This is.
I do too. It looks dope.
It's starting to look better. It's starting to look better now. It looks good. Yeah. Did you see the latest trailer? Did you guys see the latest trailer? The latest trailer came out tonight during the game, and the latest trailer was dope. The latest trailer Aquaman was dope. Seriously, it's starting to shape up.
For real. No.
Y'all seen Abomination?
No. I'm sure there is something else I could use that time and or money I'm pretty sure.
He teams up with his brother, the Ocean Master, and they're going against Black Manta and all his power with the dark.
Yeah, that looks dope. Black Manta looks dope in that bitch.
That looks dope. That dude.
But yo, Momoa needs to do Lobo. When you talk about perfect casting, come on, please, Jason, do Lobo.
Yeah, like
thank you, Chris. I appreciate that.
I'll be like Stu. I'll watch it in IMAX and and everything. Just please do Lobo, Mama, please.
Yeah, he gonna do it. He
She
gonna
said,
do
"Oh,
it.
The last of it, they
y'all
closing
go.
this out,
Yeah, I
and then
watched a
it's
movie in
gonna be.
IMAX. I gotta see a movie in IMAX, but shit, I'm sorry.
But
I
Momoa
need
is
the
going out
superior
with a
picture of
bang.
sound. I'm
I
sorry.
think
Yeah.
they really did something with this where this is gonna be a banger. Let everybody hate. Then once we bang them out with this, then more you going with the Lobo. So you're going to bring all that momentum from the Aquaman banger to the Lobo. That's how they planning it. I bet you. This
He better
Aquaman,
not bring energy from that Aquaman movie nowhere
this
else with him in
Aquaman
his
movie is
career.
gonna be a banger.
If he
Aquaman
wants
is
to
dope.
survive and eat food at night, no, come
Watch
on, man.
Those Aquaman movies were mad successful, and it's dope. I don't know. I like Aquaman. I think Aquaman is dope. I think it's one of the best things that DC did. One of their better movies out of
Yeah,
the
first one
You
Batman
know,
was
versus
I'm
Superman,
definitely
all
just
that other
swayed
shit.
yeah.
by Amber. That's
Yeah,
what
the
it
first one
is.
was dope.
Amber done
First
pissed
one
me
was hot.
off. That's all.
Oh,
And then I'm like,
you
fuck
see,
it.
I don't even know nothing about all that. I'm not sweating that chick. I don't give
I
a
think
fuck about all
the
that.
Aquaman movie was okay. I think it was very generic at the end of the day for me.
It
So
was. It was. It was a little
the
silly.
movie, the sequel looks about as fun as the first one. But I'm worried that it's going to be as generic as the first one, which is why I am not.
Yeah.
Mm.
But
Well, I
I'm
feel that way too.
the reviews and see how people like it or don't like it. I will say that.
The
But
genericness,
I will
yeah.
say
So far, everyone that I've heard, all the reviews I've heard from like the pre-screenings that they did maybe about 3-4 months ago, they're saying that the effects aren't really in certain scenes. Those aren't hitting it.
They're not
But
ready
as
yet.
far
They're
as
not
the
done.
story
yeah, I
goes,
will
I
say the
haven't heard
technical
anything
limits
other
of this
than
movie have been abysmal.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So
I
I
think
don't.
they're gonna introduce his son because Aquaman has a son, and
Mm.
they're saying that's what's gonna happen in this movie. Is his little boy gonna come out or whatever?
Well,
That's kind of crazy. He had a son off
They
screen,
need to
but
introduce Aqualad. Let's try
like,
Aqualad.
all right.
y'all know Eddie doing another Beverly Hills, right?
Oh,
Another
Why is
Beverly
that?
Hills Cop.
Yeah, we
Why
found
is
out
that?
about that. Remember we had the one guy on here. He told us about that. He was like, "Oh, we
Yeah,
got that out the bag."
yeah.
Eddie, we want Coming to America 2. Oh no, Coming to America 3. We don't want Beverly Hills Cop. We want another Coming to America. I love
Bloodshed.
those fucking movies.
No, we don't ever need to see that shit again. You
yeah.
can no,
Homeless.
don't ever do that again.
No.
Part one is a classic. Part one is a fucking classic. One of my favorite comedies of all time. Part two, that we
Yeah.
man, goddamn,
Oh,
Part two is just something
that
somebody
shit
put some
hurt.
money behind, and
did they
Eddie,
make a
and
part
Eddie
two?
said, "I'll take the
I
payday."
got you. How
Yeah.
about a Vampire in Brooklyn sequel? How's that?
Oh. Oh.
Bring back
Listen,
Max
No,
Miller. No.
no,
listen.
no.
Listen, but no, that
Mm.
I was waiting on that sequel. I ain't gonna lie. But listen, Eddie, Beverly Hills Cop, man, is one of my favorite. That's one of my go tos. Like I remember being
It's
like
certain. Yeah,
six,
Beverly Hills
7 years
Cop,
old,
Cop
pretending to be
bad.
actual Foley and shit. That was my shit, bro. Um,
Yeah,
it's
I own all three movies on Blu-ray,
this is
high
his. This
definition
is a picture
DVD.
from the
I
new
own all
joint.
three of them. So.
Yeah, you gotta have Beverly Hills Cop, man, classics. But this is the new movie, I guess. Right here is little footage from it or a little image from it. Yeah,
Like
I mean, he
it's
still
certain
looks
movies
the fucking same,
you better
bro.
not ever make a sequel to the Warriors. Yeah,
Yeah,
better
Sequel
not
to
ever
the
remake the
Warriors.
Goonies.
don't reboot the war. They
It's just
talking about
certain movies.
rebooting the Warriors.
Certain movies
Oh, if
can't
they
be
reboot the
remade.
Oh
Warriors,
my
I'm snapping
God, they
my
are
fingers.
way
No,
past time for
no,
that.
you can't reboot
They're
it.
way past. Don't you do that
No,
in
you can't reboot the
2023.
Warriors. You
Don't
can't
do
do
it. It's
nothing
too
with the
late.
Warriors, but just
It's too
yeah,
late.
you can't do nothing with the Warriors, but put the film in high definition. That's it. That's all we want. Re-release it in theaters. It
How
was
you
dope.
gonna bop
You
through
can't
the
redo it.
city now?
There's nothing
You
you can
can't
do.
bop through the city like they used to do back in the
Through the
day.
city,
Yeah, they
nah.
That was
passed
Wow.
that
crazy.
time.
Yeah.
It's too
Yeah,
late for
nah.
that. Yeah, no.
Everybody
Don't
be
New
do
York
that.
is a
arrested,
fucking New
man.
York is a fucking theme park now. Yeah, bro. New York is a theme park now,
There's
bro.
a bunch of different gangs in skinny jeans. Some are in booty shorts and roller skates and
Tourism,
yeah. No.
tourism and
Be
gentrification.
a leader of one, and then you got
Uh,
ASAP Rocky, the leader of the Harlem gang. I don't want to see that. I already know what they're
you
It
gonna
was
got
do.
dope.
you got you
It
got
was
you got the
dope.
you got the
It
Karens in the
was
gentrified
dope.
neighborhood.
Come out and play,
It was
y'all.
dope.
Come on,
Listen, it
y'all.
was dope. You can't argue how that movie was made. Cyrus got every gang in New York together and then educated them in front of each other. Can you count suckers? He gave them the numbers. They outnumbered the mob. They outnumbered the police. They outnumbered the local government. He was
Guess
like,
who will
let's
be
get it.
playing
Let's get
Cyrus?
this
Guess who will
money.
be playing
Let's get
Cyrus
this money. We can run the streets.
in the Warrior remake? Guess
Nobody.
who will play
Nobody's that
Cyrus?
cool anymore.
Just
Nobody's
guess.
that cool
Man,
anymore.
please don't do that. If you were gonna do a Warrior remake, that should have been
Nobody.
done in the late
Guess who
90s.
will
Who?
play Cyrus?
Arguably, like
Ooh.
2000, 2001 would have been pushing it, but in 2020, don't do that.
Who could be
Like
Cyrus?
Guess who
Ross
will
said,
play
where you gonna
Cyrus?
put everybody? You can't do
All
that with
I'm
the city
saying.
no more.
No, listen, guys, listen. If they did, if they did, it would have to be a period piece. Like it would have to take place then. They couldn't do it now.
Agreed.
Yeah, it would
But
have to be. Yeah.
Guess who would play
I
Cyrus?
agree.
Just
Yeah.
think.
Nah, he's right.
Who
He's
would
right.
be Cyrus?
No.
Guess. I know y'all thinking the same way. Guess
Nobody's
who they
cool
would
enough.
make?
Nobody's cool enough.
The Rock.
to play
They'll put
Cyrus.
the Rock in there. That's what they'll do.
The Rock.
They'll have the Rock.
Shaquille
The
O'Neal.
people
Shaquille
champion.
O'Neal could be
Nah,
Cyrus.
they'll have Diddy. They'll have Diddy play Cyrus. I
Did it?
guarantee you.
No.
They'll never. Diddy don't do movies.
Yeah, okay. He did one movie that was kind of funny, but you know what I mean.
Mm-mm.
Get it to the Greek. Remember that?
Well, yeah. That movie was kind of funny though. I ain't gonna lie.
But that's who they would do.
Yeah, it. Shout out to the kid with the kung fu grip.
Who
He said,
are these warriors?
I would only be good if good with it if Wesley Snipes is the leader of the Riffs.
Oh.
That's a casting right there. I like it.
Wesley.
Wait, why is this shit?
But Cyrus, I would get the guy from what was that duo, the comedy guy, the one that he be
Key and
doing it.
Peele.
Yeah, Key and Peele, the skinny dude.
You talking
Keegan,
about you talking about Keegan, the light skinned ball one?
Yeah.
Yeah, he could do Cyrus. He would do it good too. He would.
Can you count, suckers?
Yeah, he would do it good too. Yeah, he got range.
Yeah.
That dude got
He
range.
kind of favors him in a way.
Yeah, yep.
You know what I mean?
Just letting everybody know, 1983 is 40
Hey,
years.
That's a
yo,
movie.
shout out. Yo, I just got a shout out to my man Paul Wall for asking for the chopped and screwed version.
Why
Paul Wall asked.
my boy, man?
Yo, he said Paul Wall asked for the chopped and screwed version of Andre's new album. He dead ass too. He said, what'd he say? Paul said, "Does anybody have a screwed and chopped version of Andre 3000 Flute album? I need that ASAP for the slab." You re-put that on.
Go. Like many chop and screw like songs go. So I don't know.
Yo, can you imagine the songs on that album? They would start playing with the flute and everything, rain in the background, and just like remix, and then just went into like.
I mean, chopped and screwed. You know how hard it would be to listen to a screwed version. It's already slow as fuck.
Dude,
that should just be like,
oh my god, that would fuck with your head. That would definitely fuck with.
That's what he means when he says chopped and screwed. Screwed means they slow it down like real slow motion. That's screwed.
It definitely would.
One thing that
which is crazy. That didn't blow it till he died.
Who said Good Burger?
Good Burger.
Black Heroes Club. What are you talking about? He said Good Burger 2. Oh, that's coming. Yeah, they are doing that. Some reboot of Good Burger. Yeah.
I don't know why.
Black Heroes. Yeah, I don't even. Who knows why they doing these shits?
Oh,
sometimes
but I do think if they come with Andre 3000, everybody clowning them, but watch he go platinum off the flute.
Listen,
off the flute.
Everybody
number one hip hop.
Honestly, you know what he did? You know what he did? It's funny because everybody's so like they don't want to diss it, so everyone's like, "Oh, it's so good. It's so deep. Oh, this is the next big thing, and oh, it's hip hop meditation. It's gonna change the game." I'm seeing all these old school MC nobody wants to diss it, so everybody's like going overboard with their bullshit fucking love of it, and it's like, listen, it's cool, but it's not monumental. It's not all that. It doesn't change the game. It's ambient fucking sounds with him on his loop. He's just fucking around, bro. He's just fucking around. Somebody was like, listen, I was reading the comment and they're like, oh yeah, he's taking you, he's leveling you up through the frequency. I'm like, no, he's just playing with his fucking flute for fun. That's all he's doing.
This is one of them albums like you hear it,
the
and you
wool
can
over
tell
your
he
eyes.
wasn't wearing socks while he was recording it, like in your
He's
mind.
pulling the wool over your eyes. Listen, he's a genius. He's a fucking genius.
Ultimate troll too. He could be an
ultimate troll. That's what I'm talking about.
Troll. He be like, yo, I went platinum off the flute because hip hop sucks.
He's fucking with everybody. Yup. He's gonna make a point.
I tried to tell my brother, he was like, yeah, Griselda, yo, that new Fly God joint. I'm like, I heard these rhymes 100 times from these dudes. How many drug crimes, passion rhymes am I gonna listen to?
Like I said, Simon Cowell is the man.
Everything they say, I heard like a million times from
Simon Cowell is the man.
Yeah.
He would have told Andre straight up, I think you need to go back to rapping. I think you need to go back to rapping.
That Drake and J. Cole, one song destroys all of Griselda's work they did today.
Because Griselda, Benny, I like Benny the Butcher shit. I like, but I mean, they're good lyricists and shit. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking for like deep content, or you're not gonna get no content out of it. Yeah, you're not gonna get no.
I was really hoping that Andre would come out with some conscious talk, like putting wisdom on people's minds instead of the didgeridoo. I was hoping that he would,
You're 48 years old. You're 48. You're not 88. You're not 78. You're not, so old you can't think of no shit. Listen, what you're going through at 48, that's what we need to hear about. That's what we want to hear about. You having a colonoscopy? Is your eyesight going bad? Rap about that shit. We want to hear that. That's what we want. He knows that shit, bro. I'm not buying it, bro. I'm not buying it that I ain't got no raps. Bro, listen, you are afraid that you are so. I get it. When you're that status, right? You're a top 5 in a lot of people's lists, and 17 years go by, bro. You're scared. You're scared that what if I put it out and it's whack or they don't like it, and then my whole legacy is ruined and shit. And so he's scared. That's what I think.
But if Dante could be rhyming, Alan Bay, he can be rhyming now. Drake can do it. Drake,
I mean, look at all it's a lot of old heads.
You know what?
Busta Rhymes, Method Man, Jay-Z, Nas, they're all old heads. They're all 50.
I didn't consider that. Rob Talk might be right. He might be trolling everybody.
He's trolling.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He has to be. There's no way.
He's an MC. An MC is always going to be an MC. I don't care what you say.
Top tier lyrics.
You got lyrics in the tuck. You ready to fire him off. You're just waiting for the proper time. So he's going to troll right now. And then everybody gonna be like, "Yo, he went platinum off the flute." Yeah, now
he hit me with some life gain to activate the left and right, stimulate the left and right brain. So, baby, oh boy, you're only funky as your last cut.
Y'all stupid,
bro. Listen.
Said he went hard off the flute, huh? I mean, it's experimental.
He never rapped about no young.
I don't know. I guess
10 years.
He never rapped about
10, 20, like 20 years.
I guess 3 Stacks lost his heart.
Listen, let's keep it a buck.
And check it out.
He hasn't done anything musically. He hasn't done anything musically in how many years? Like 10, 20 years? I mean, that's what he's been doing. Andre's been playing the flute the last, 10 years out of the 20 years he ain't put no music out. So that's what he's done. Like, he right. I get it. What are you going to rap about? He don't have it in him anymore. He doesn't have the energy for it. Like, you ever do something and you like something that you was passionate about, and then after a while you're like, no, I ain't got the energy for it no more. That's where he's at with it. He don't have the energy to rap anymore. Ain't that he can't do it. He just ain't with it no more. So he been playing the flute to express himself musically, and that's what we got.
No, he's still putting out. He still did features and shit during that time. He was still doing features. He just ain't did an album, little bits here and there. But he's still an MC. You know what I'm saying? You're a writer. You're always gonna be a writer. Period.
My brother re-rhyme and shit. Don't leave you. That shit don't leave you. You always thinking of some new shit.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I don't buy it. I don't buy it, Stu. I don't think he
Yes.
really don't have it. I just think that he is apprehensive about if people are gonna like it or not. Because he is that dude. And you gotta remember his last big album was fucking Hey Ya, was Love Below. He wasn't even really, super MC on that shit. He was not even rapping on that. So
And a lot of
really you
it,
gotta go back to Aquemini was the last shit he did, really.
and a lot of thing is contractual. Now for him to come back out, he definitely got to do an Outcast album according to the deals that they signed beforehand. You know what I'm saying? Now his solo album, just look for Kanye to be producing the majority of it when it does come out. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, like he did Nas and
it's coming. It's coming. After the troll though. Let him get this off. He'll be back. Then they'll have something to rhyme about. Oh yeah, I trolled y'all with the flute. Now I'm doing my, you know what I mean? Watch.
But no, I mean,
Andre 3000's follow-up album. Gotcha, bitch. Coming at you.
No, but Stu has a point, and Kung Fu Grip has a point, and we were talking about this last night. Raw Talk. It's not some. It is. It's not like riding a bike. It's not something that if you just stop rapping for 10 years, you can just pick it up and start rapping again. It is not. It is a skill that you have to hone. You have to practice it. You have to, constantly keep it up, or it does go away. It does. You might still think of lines and you might still think of shit, but you have to get back into that to get back doing it again. And he probably just fucking. I think what's Badu and he that whole thing, man. He
I blame Erica.
he was leaving rap.
Erica's fault.
He was leaving rap with Love Below. He left rap then, and he's the type, bro. He's an artist, bro. He's an artist. He was always more than an MC. Big Boy was the rapper. Andre was always more than a rapper. That a rap was just something he did. He did it really well. He did it the best, and then he moved on, and now he does this, and then he did acting, and now he's doing this. Like he's not he. I believe he's more of an artist that did rap. He's an artist first and foremost. Big Boy is a rapper, always gonna be a rapper. You know what I'm saying? And that's not taking nothing away from Andre, as a MC. He's still got 3 GOAT fucking albums of, what easily puts him in a lot of people's top 5. So, you can't never take that away from him. And he got that. He don't ever have to he don't have to prove a fucking thing. But again, I'm not mad at the album. I'm disappointed, because I really would like to hear some more Andre raps. It's been 20 years. And then when I hear he's putting out an album, of course I'm going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, hell yeah, Andre album. And then I find out it's this. I couldn't believe it, bro. I was so heartbroken. But it takes a while to get over the heartbreak to then, okay, now let me listen to this shit. And then I'll absorb it, okay, and then let me get into it. It's like the Scott Pilgrim fucking anime. I don't know if anybody else was heartbroken by the Scott Pilgrim anime.
Yes,
I know, Dre, you had to been as a fan. Yes, as a fan of Scott Pilgrim, we all heard they're doing a fucking anime. It's gonna be straight. They're gonna be readapting the comics anime. Oh my god! Like I was fucking so ready for this shit, and they didn't tell us. They just gave it to us, and the whole thing. Fucking Scott dies in the beginning, and it's all about Ramona. He's barely even in the fucking thing. It's like, why would
that was a waste of my time
all over again?
Big waste. But that's the same. It's the same thing. That's how I felt with the Andre album.
Reboot. He-Man dies, and it's all about Teela.
Yeah. Right. That's what they did with this shit, and that's how I feel about the Andre album. Same type of shit.
See, you might fuck around and find enlightenment. You never know.
I mean, look at Ice Cube. Look at Ice Cube. Remember when Ice Cube changed his style up, and everybody was complaining when Predator came out. Everybody was like, "Yo, why Ice Cube switch his style up?" I never used to be like, "Well, I don't see why he switched it up." But now, when I go back and listen to Ice Cube's albums, he did switch his style up. All Ice Cube do now is chant. Ice
Yeah,
Cube's one of the dopest rappers from the West Coast I ever heard. But when you hear him now,
yeah.
all he do is chant.
West
Go,
West
here I
Side
go,
Connection.
here I go, here I go. I'm that dude. I'm that dude. Yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
did you hear the
When he
new?
came
You didn't.
out, when
His
he was with
cadence,
NWA,
his
was dope.
cadence is
America's Most Wanted was dope.
same with Eminem. Their
You
Destitute
cadence
gotta
was
listen.
dope.
You gotta listen to
You
the
got
new. You gotta listen to the new Ice Cube
yeah, that's all
album.
he do now. Yeah, that's all Ice Cube do now.
No, I'm talking about the new one where you got with Snoop and Too Short. He on there spitting bars on his new shit. It's called
Which one? The
Mount
West Side
Westmore.
Connection?
Nah, no, it's brand new, man. West Side Connections from the '90s. This is called Mount Westmore.
You know what, Reno? I got the album. I haven't. I got the album. No, I got the album. I haven't listened to it yet. I just haven't listened to it.
Yeah, you'll
Yeah,
like
I
it
got
if
the
you're a
album.
fan.
I
If you're
bought
a
the
fan
album
of
months
old
ago,
Cube,
but I just haven't
yeah,
listened to
you'll
it
like.
yet.
Yeah,
I keep forgetting
definitely.
to
I'm
put it in
not
the
even
rotation
gonna
and listen to
front.
it.
I'm more of a fan of his acting, more than his music, especially his solo music. Just in particular, he just entertains me as an actor. I don't know why. It's like 21 Jump
Yeah,
Street and
he's a
shit
good
like
actor.
that. I loved it. I was like, yo, I don't know,
Yeah,
somebody's acting.
he's a good actor. He's a good actor, but yeah,
Mm.
those early '90s joints were serious. Predator, Lethal
Better actor than
Injection, Death
Andre 3000.
Certificate,
He is a good
Death
actor. Yeah,
Certificate.
he was an Anaconda. How'd you like him in Anaconda?
I didn't like Anaconda. My happiest part is when the snake ate the old
Yeah,
white
America's
dude.
Most Wanted, Lethal
That was
Injection.
my favorite part because he
But
was getting on
people,
my nerves.
All about the
Yeah.
Benjamins.
Oh, y'all seen Dranky Promoters?
Yeah,
That shit was funny.
oh, all about the
And of
Benjamin.
course, yeah, and then of
But
course you
yo,
got classics like
I can't. I gotta
Friday.
disagree.
How did
Like
y'all forget about Friday?
Bloodshed Book.
That's a
When he played Triple X, I was disappointed. Nobody
all
can
right,
beat
y'all.
Triple X with Van Rain.
At this point, we just talking
Friday
bullshit.
was cool as hell.
We gotta wrap it up, y'all. It is 9:15. It's 9:20. But listen, you guys, it has been a phenomenal show. Again, I gotta thank Brute for coming on, man. Yo, it's definitely great to meet you, man. And you're welcome back to come on the show anytime, just to kick it and chop it up with us, man. You ain't gotta be promoting nothing, man. Just come on and chill. And we
I
live every
appreciate that.
Monday. Absolutely, man. Every Monday and every Saturday, man. 7 p.m. If y'all came in halfway through the show, run it back. This was a great show. Watch it back from the beginning. Please leave a comment. Please like. Please subscribe. All of that good stuff. And we'll see you guys this weekend. Have a great week. Have a great Thanksgiving. Happy holidays. Eat a turkey. Smoke a blunt. Peace.